It's circling. Let's see. Okay, we gotta have y'all. So, welcome you guys to the whether you like it or not reality and gossip panel. Where we talk about reality shows and things that's going on in the blogs. We have Bondi Blue. We have special guest Simply Sakina. We have Ya Cortez. We have Jaylee's Corner. We have Alexander Rogers. We have Jamie, that's me. And we have Josiah's World TV. The two people that are missing tonight, Nisi could not make it tonight. She was, I think, did she say she was getting off for work late or something like that, or she was going to make it home late? It was one of the other that she told us earlier today, but she won't be able to make it. And giving you the real tea, Terrence got called into work a couple of hours ago, so he may be on late. We don't know right now, but it's a possibility that you will some. So for tonight's reality shows, because we're not going to talk about Bill Collective tonight, because we pretty much already talked about the first episode already, being that all of us already seen it. So we're going to go on into growing and boring up hip hop Atlanta. We can start off with that. Uh, do y'all know where to start with this?
Tell me where it's at, nowhere. It's giving real boring teas, giving real nothing teas. Like I feel like it's the same old Angela and Bow Wow we don't care about. Even Deb and her, I'm a Trump supporter, is boring to me. It feels real. I need a check in the storyline ish. I mean, it gives nothing. I know they added Lily and Andrea Kelly who came at the end, but even I was like, okay, and then we know Diamond on there, but I'm like, I want her to get a burger. Diamond looked
Why
real
is she so
thin.
thin?
She
She's
looked
so
really
thin.
thin. It was
I
it
was
was
a
a
lot
little
of
bit
neck.
like, and her outfit was ill fitting. Like
She had a beret on. I was like,
it wasn't Chanel. She bought them letters and spelled it herself. It was, it's just,
mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
I agree.
the the issue that I have with growing up hip hop is when you have a show where you've got a plot line built around old appliances like hot point stoves, such as Deb's happening. Unless you're really into recreating a vintage kitchen, you don't care. Now, if you want to create a 1950s kitchen, then you would go to, I would say, a flea market. That's where you would find the Deb Atney. And then you would look at it and see what kind of enamel paint you could buy to spruce it up. But if you're not into that type of DIY, reconstruction, who
She is
cares?
not a stove, Alex. She is not a stove. She is a refrigerator. Okay, she is much taller, and you should give her the stature that is real for her. And I feel like a 1960s refrigerator, you know what I'm saying, is far closer to her body frame than a stove. But I
What is
do feel you.
not a 1960s refrigerator? What's the
Right.
They
difference?
had a little bit more round.
Right.
They were a little bit more round
Oh,
on the curve.
hmm and she wasn't, and she was in green. She was in that old school green.
Yes,
No.
yes. All our grandmas had that somewhere in the house, whatever that color was. Child, I don't think they make that color no more.
All kind of
Pewter, I don't know.
pastels.
A green pastel. I mean, I feel like besides the
Yeah.
amazingness that Ayana's girlfriend didn't catch the Rona after she said they was all over each other, I was kind of like, oh wow, that's crazy. And plus, the little chick is so cute. I was just like, oh, um, that Johnny Blaze having a panic attack because what exactly? Because she was about to be around Andrea Kelly and Lily from SWV. Please don't get me wrong. All respect to Lily, okay? Andrea Kelly, side eye. Sometimes, but respect. If not for the dance, I give you respect because of the dance, okay? Debbie Allen, I give you that. But like ultimately, I felt like it all kind of fell flat. You know what I'm saying? Even the situation with Johnny, it was like, okay, she's fine. She's just laying in a bed, and the producers felt like they needed to call the ambulance. That was a bit much. Like you said, I was more worried about Diamond in the thinness. That was like, what's happening here? And then Deb, in the middle of the grass, telling everybody she's a Trump supporter and she don't give a shit how we feel about it. I just kind of feel like, then why did you feel the need to come out to everybody then? like, why come out then? Y'all, it was just stupid.
Very
Deb
dumb.
come out, but
Very,
not
very
a
dumb.
Trump supporter.
I don't take her seriously at all. I just every time I see her on the TV screen, I give her the side eye.
Who, Deb? Well, I think
Yeah.
Deb always, even since season 1 of the show, Deb was always giving I need attention. Even when she was on Love and Hip Hop, me with Rashida, it was always I'm Deb. I was working with Nicki Minaj back in the day. Like, she always has wanted to be bigger than what she is, and then she also thinks she's important, which becomes boring as hell. And it's like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
And she's gonna be on this new documentary. I just saw the preview for this new documentary that is centered around the drug dealers that funded the music artists, and she's on there. So
she was doing
more
a drug.
attention.
You
I
can't,
mean, we all knew.
tell me she wasn't a drug dealer too. Deb, she makes still sell drugs because Deb. What does Deb do? What does she do right now? She don't make no music. She can't make money off managing Johnny Blaze. I don't know. Girl, the show needs to be canceled.
She
Which
does.
is unfortunate.
She does give me a. She
'Cause
does
Johnny
give me
Blaze-
a mob wise vibe.
She
I'm
does.
sorry, Bonnie. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You right. I'm talking too much.
Yeah, nah, she does definitely give me a mob wise vibe, and that deep her voice is so deep, y'all. Like, she would be like in a female version of The Godfather. Like, everybody come to her in the round table. So
That's how she sees herself.
You know what I'm saying? Like, woo.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure,
That-
especially when you look at her house with all like the animals and shit. It's like, bitch, what is this, Scarface? Like, what? Like, what's going on in here?
That's how she sees herself, but in reality, she's just a corner girl.
That picnic was ghetto though. Them ghetto chairs, that ghetto plasticware. I'm like, you couldn't do nothing better than this backyard picnic for the people that grown up. I just feel like I want to have a brunch for the ladies or whatever. I'm like, that's like basic.
Her
baby
wig should
shower
tell you that.
backyard.
Her wig should tell you that she can't do no better than that, because that wig is never
Right.
together. No matter how much money she makes, the wig is never together.
That was the torturing part for me. The
Deb
wig,
should,
I was thrown off by that. It was super thin, all of them.
Deb should do voiceovers for Unsolved Mysteries. To me, I could hear her doing that.
I could see that.
All I can remember is her being like, look at her. She's stinking. She's on the floor. She's dying. She's stinking. Look at her. You did that. Like, I remember that shit when she was going off on Rashida and D-Lo. Oh, Lord. Good times on Love and Hip Hop, boy.
I
miss
just feel
Love and
like
Hip
for
Hop
the
so
show,
much. Y'all don't understand.
Love and Hip Hop is dead and gone to me. I feel I'm good without seeing that show. I feel like the specials that they got going on, scraps. Like, they just trying to find a reason to come back on TV. Don't nobody care about unseen footage, Megan Thee Stallion possibly being on the show because she wasn't.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right. We didn't care about that. But you're not going to watch the upcoming stuff? Because they put everybody in the
No.
house.
No, like, I
I
don't
am.
care about Love and Hip Hop
I am
anymore.
definitely gonna
I
watch
feel
it.
like they playing us like the scripted shit is just like, all right, now we ain't this fucking dumb. Like, of course, none of this, the scenario stuff is just becoming way too scripted for my preference. So that's why I stopped watching the shit. And I really feel like it's not missed. It's not missed. VH1 need to revamp because Black Ink Crew is the same way. I just feel like all
Yeah.
this shit is super fake.
I really feel that way about Black Ink Crew. I hate when they show the back of a person's head and then they just clip some audio from somewhere else and made it seem like they said that. Like I feel like they need a cash shakeup. Yeah, but in addition to that, they just need a better production crew as well because it's trash. So I understand where you're coming from. I still love me some Love and Hip Hop. Shout out to Hollywood because that's my favorite one. But Grown Up
mine
Hip
too,
Hop,
out of all of them.
going back to Grown Up Hip Hop, I mean, I feel like Jay Lee pretty much said everything that needed to be said. Like, I mean, the show's not hitting on anything. I'm extremely exhausted with Angela and Bow Wow. Extremely, like, how long has this show been on? And not just Atlanta, but going back to when they first came out, like, I am so tired.
And
Romeo
and
has moved on. I'm tired of seeing Bow Wow in the same cycle of, oh, I'm dating these people, I'm doing this. Like, he needs to grow the fuck up for him to be so short. I really need him to figure out the best way for himself to grow the fuck up. You got 2 kids and you sit out here doing the same shit, and y'all put this on TV. And then Angela being in Atlanta ain't even making no sense for us. Like, why, ma'am, why are you here? What did you come back for? A photo shoot? You could do that shit in New York. What's going on? It's not making any sense. Can't stand the fact that Johnny Blaze is back. She comes on the show every time talking about, oh, well, I want to change this, I want to change that. And then by the end of the season, we see the same Johnny Blaze. That's why if any of my subscribers watch it, that's the reason why I ain't got no review yet, because they ain't talking about it. Next.
True, I had to
agree.
get the review this week.
Oh, go ahead, just say.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, my bad.
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree with Jamie. I feel like out of all 3 franchises or whatever of growing up hip hop, Atlanta is the worst. I never watched the show. This particular franchise, I watched the LA one. But as far as this one in particular, Atlanta, they need, once Reginae and Zanique left, those are hip hop kids. That's it. Cause I mean, I feel like, okay, they brought a whole bunch of grown ass people in here. Deb Adney, like, I get it. Walker, you know, that's your son. He is basically, you know, a hip hop kid. I feel like they're venturing away from like the reason of the show. Angela, Romeo, all of them, they come from hip hop legends. All these grown ass people on Atlanta, it's irritating to me. I feel like don't nobody give a fuck about Lily, Drea, Deb, Waka, Tammy, like all these grown ass people. Bow Wow, I mean, Bow Wow is technically like a hip hop kid, if you will, but even him and his struggly ass facial hair irritating the fuck out of me. Like,
I cringe watching that shit. I be like, Lord, when is the
And his head is so big.
off.
His head is so damn big.
Y'all gotta chill.
And like you, to piggyback off what you were saying about Tammy and Waka, they got their own show, so they don't even really need to be on this show.
Exactly.
Like-
Like, here because of Deb. They're trying to help Deb.
trying to help
They need
I don't think that Tammy is that interesting.
air. They need the check.
Tammy.
They do need.
But I
to
think
check.
they got Lily. I think
She's
Lily.
not.
See, I don't mind Lily and Andrea because I know with Lily and Andrea, they supposed to bring their kids on. So I don't mind I don't mind bringing a parent on who we know for them to introduce their kids, for us to then see this is them growing up because they parents. But I feel like Deb, well, Waka grown as fuck. Like Waka he's a grown ass man. He should not be on there. But I don't mind, like I didn't mind Dame and Boogie. Because Boogie is Dame's son, you see them together. But for us to keep seeing Deb on here, like remember when Deb had the dude who wasn't her son, who they called her son? What was
Brandon?
The big
bone. Yeah, the big bone dude. Like y'all had a whole fake son for like 2 seasons who we thought was her real son until oh no, he was a stray cat who she found somewhere and made her godson, and now we have to keep putting up with him. And Waka didn't like it. Then Waka came in because Waka was on here first. It was just Deb with that damn Brandon and with Reginae and Zanique. But Reginae and Zanique, meaning Toya, Tyne, and Tiasi, you know what? Let's get our kids out this bullshit. We see it. We see what's coming from.
Yeah. Then they come from
up.
They came from production. What's Reginae? Because she didn't like the way she was being edited.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, she's a little brat, but you know, Reginae is the brat.
Speaking of from that era, I'm looking forward to T.S. Madison's new show on WeTV.
I'm excited.
I didn't even know.
What's the format?
What's the
format?
I have no idea.
Okay, see, that was my only thing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I'll call her and ask.
I know I'm proud of her having a show on WeTV, but I do want to know, like, are we having? Yeah, but we don't know what the show is.
That's what I was wondering.
Because she was nice enough to be on stage at DragCon, so I'm gonna ask her to come on my.
Yes, I want to know what it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
And I said we just want to know what the show, because I know I know she had, Queen's Court, and she was doing the things. So the preview didn't is it a reality show? Is it a panel show? Is it a
Wendy Williams
like we
style
just I wonder,
show.
yeah, because
Right.
I just wonder what it is, so I can be like, okay, yeah, I can't wait to do this. I don't think I'm going to review it though, because I'm like, is that too close to home for other YouTubers? I don't know.
I can understand.
Honestly, I don't think it'll be anything to review. I don't feel like it'll be that type of show, but I guess we gonna have to see. If it's entertaining, I'll talk about anything. So we'll see.
I'm not interested.
Okay. All right.
I'm not.
Not the silence.
Anyway, what's the next thing going on?
I'm not. There wasn't no shade. I just felt bad because I'm the only one sitting here that really doesn't care about it coming on. Like, I'm happy that she has the show and all that stuff, but I ain't watching it though.
Y'all real
Because
right
I ain't never
underneath you
just
though.
been.
That's your prerogative.
You can do it.
One more thing before we move on, guys. What did y'all think about that clip that went viral? It was on the Shade Room about how Bow Wow dated, admits that he dated Black China and Keisha Cole. Do y'all think that Bow Wow was just talking out the side of his neck?
I think Bow Wow dated
No, he dated them. He definitely dated them.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know why.
I would say, like Al Reynolds, I'm tired of men bringing up pussy of the past instead of the penises of the present. If you dated, let's talk about it. If you dated, you know what? We went out a few times. It was very nice. Like if somebody brings it up and it's the truth, then let it be the truth. But I don't know why these men are out here just bragging on the dick. Just got to talk about everybody that they said. That make me think you ain't getting no pussy. If you constantly are talking about getting it, then you're not getting it.
True.
I think Bow Wow bragging about any pussy he got back in the day is no one is surprised that Bow Wow, who we have to admit was a popular, sought after rapper for years. Like, that's him, Omarion, Romeo. They were really like slapping them cheeks. So I'm not surprised. I mean, but him trying to name names, I don't care enough in 2021 who you fucked 5 years ago. I don't. Am I surprised?
It's real Young Burgish.
It's real Young Burgish, and we know bird is a bird. So I think it's like, or if you was going to do it, it would have to make sense. If it's a rap love letter for what you learn from them, okay, cool. But like a rap about you fucked them, it's like we don't care that you fucked them people.
Well, I mean, we all have to agree that Bow Wow is going through a midlife crisis right now. So he's trying to cling on to whatever bit of celebrity that he has and just has to put something out there to stay quote unquote relevant. But yeah, nobody really cares. I mean, I know
Bow Wow could have. This is how we know he's not about his business. Bow Wow has a whole beautiful baby mama, a beautiful daughter. How is your storyline not about you either co-parenting with them or back and forth between her? Like that's a whole,
because that's not his life.
I don't think Joy wants to do that. Joy was on the show at one point. Not on the show, but she definitely made a few appearances when they first started doing like Atlanta. But I think Joy, like with her brand, I think like you get my baby daddy is enough, honey. I don't think she really want to be affiliated. I can see her being like,
I think people saw where the show had potential. That's why you saw more people involved in season 1. When season 1 aired and it seemed a little bit bullshitty, more and more people was like, you know what? That ain't me. That ain't me. That ain't me. That's why now who we see. They have Eazy-E's off-brand daughter on here. They got Johnny Blaze,
Listen, Jamie. The words on my mouth.
It's like, because it's like you don't have the who's who of hip hop. It's like no one knew who Remarkable was. Like we did not, and we're like, oh, he got another daughter. That's okay. That's fine.
I think she was on Sweet 16. Was that the one who was on Sweet 16?
No.
Say that again.
That's not the one who was on my Super Sweet 16 back in the day. Oh, child,
Oh,
that was
hell
the same
no,
girl.
Mm-mm.
Jay Lee, are you saying
She
they're
wish she was
featuring illegitimate?
I mean, look, I think this okay. Eazy-E was out here slanging that thing. We know that, but we also know he had a bunch of kids who everyone knew. So when this one come out, like, okay, I'm also her his child, and I'm not saying she has to be less than the others, but it's a thing like we didn't know you. You didn't know the family at all. Like you was, the
I'm gonna tell you
off-brand.
what it is for me. I'm gonna tell you what it is for me. For me, it's the fact that she comes on the show and expects people to like give her some type of respect based off of who her daddy is. And it's like, but bitch, you wasn't even a part of them, the core group of kids that we knew of. And I think that's what Jay Lee is trying to say. And also, even when you are like the known kid of a rapper, you don't get to just come on the scene and get, preferential treatment. You shouldn't be able to bypass auditions and shit when nobody knows what you can do. Like that's just ridiculous.
Sure.
So I didn't like her for that reason. I thought she was full of herself.
Sure was, because if she wanted to be a SoundCloud rapper or a YouTube rapper, she could have been out here and had a fan base and proved herself. It's sad that I have more of a following than you, and you try to be on WeTV acting like you're you ain't all that, you ain't all that.
Okay, what did growing up hip hop Atlanta do to be rejuvenated? Because it's boring as hell right
Get some
now.
real hip
So,
hop children. Like get some cast
like,
members. In Atlanta, there are so many rappers, producers, actors, people who was in the hip hop world for years. And it's like they're either not interesting or they give us this fake shit. And the fake shit don't work. So the fake shit get cut up and then we get aggravated, and then it's like, why watch it? The fact that this season is like it's Bow Wow, Anaya, Jermaine Dupri daughter, and
I forgot who was on the show.
And Jermaine Dupri daughter born, Anaya, she's like I forget that she's his daughter because she don't even how you don't have no scenes with your daddy. Like it's like whoever's producing the show are not good. They don't know how to produce the show.
Yeah.
Put them out here, let them meet and chit chat, and then we don't get anything. So like you can't depend on Bow Wow to produce a show. He can't produce an album. Like, what's the point of having him do anything for the like? It gives you nothing. But that's why even the LA franchise, even the LA franchise is better because at least Angela may be full of shit, but her season is better. She produces that shit. Like she's willing to be the scapegoat. So like, you know what? I will bite the bullet and be the one who they talk about, but I'm gonna give y'all something to watch. Bow Wow can't give us shit. Nothing.
Jay Lee, if you're gonna say, what do you mean Bow Wow can produce a show? He can't produce an album. You always have to follow that up with a now check that. You missed your now check that. Girl. You were on page 5. You're like, last, page 5, paragraph 4, line 6. Bow Wow. And that. I would say I would love if they did a show actually about music where they take the concept and put it on its head. Instead of old hip hop, let's have the new hip hop. Let's have the new young kids that are putting out, that actually have a SoundCloud following, that are actually trying to do something in rap and follow their burgeoning careers.
But that's like on the LA franchise when they brought in Lil Twist, who we ain't heard from in years upon years. He came on instantly.
Little Twist
instantly.
Justin Bieber's bottom. That's all Lil Twist ever was. Lil Twist was Justin Bieber's gentleman in waiting, whipping boy, pussy when he needed. Like that. That's allegedly.
I like Lil Twist.
I
do
love him.
too.
He's so fucking
But then again,
hilarious.
he's my type of person. So, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't mad at him. And I think he actually makes their show more entertaining by kind of being like the comic relief sometimes. Cause he just be in the
Yep.
scene high as shit. I don't even think they have that over here. You know what I'm saying? On Atlanta. So the other shows are just better all in all to me.
What?
This
They just
They
You
need
know
got
what else I feel like they don't
better.
have? They don't have all these old ass people on that other on New York. It's really just like, I don't know who mentioned it, but it's really like younger people that's primarily the cast, and then you have Master P and whoever else that may come in from time to time, but you don't have like a
Peppa.
whole like they in Atlanta they have a
yeah,
bulk
they
the
did
cast
make a
being
lot
old
of it
ass
about
people.
Pepper.
Well,
They
because Egypt is
did.
boring. Egypt
Yeah,
is
Egypt
boring.
herself is boring, but her need to be a victim is not.
Egypt got
She,
interesting when she got with that boy. That's when Pepper
yeah,
kind of dipped off.
Yeah,
Hi,
I agree,
Sam.
Daily.
Nothing was
Child, listen.
that bisexual really did spice up the show.
It did. It was really entertaining. And then to see like when Tretch and them got into it with Brianna, and I was like, but Brianna is not like wrong. I think she cared too much. But they weren't wrong about how they felt about your boy, because I felt like he was hella antagonistic and like wanted his old lady to be involved in bullshit. Where I come from, that's not a good thing for you to want your old lady to get in fights with people. So Sam just came off like a clout chaser to me.
I do wonder if now that they watch that season, if they'll feel differently next season, because I think it's easy for them to see Sam in person and not see the shit he say and how he pushes people's buttons to make them want to hate. Like when him and Twist got into it, and Twist was like, "What you want to do? It can be whatever. I think Sam feels like I can fuck with Egypt when she fuck with people, but I can't fuck with these dudes. He would never do that shit to Romeo, to Twist. Like he wouldn't do that in person.
Oh,
I
Twist won't
think
let
that's
him do
why
him.
that show at all,
Because-
and that's why that show works better, because they really all play their role. You got Boogie, who's into the bullshit, but not into the bullshit, but around. Brianna is for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Egypt, now that she has Sam on her back, she is messy boots. We got TT, who spreads gossip or whatever. You got Lil Eazy-E, who be, I don't know, Easy in.
Chilling in
Like
the cut.
it just, you know what I'm saying? He be chilling, it don't be nothing or whatnot. So it's like they each have a role to play on Atlanta. Everyone's just like, what should I do? What am I doing? They have no direction.
And
Is
there's
Troy-
some people that's on there.
Is Troy still on the show? The hairdresser.
I don't think so.
The guy who did Pepper's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
made it like
well,
a
he came back, but he not on the show. He not on like that now.
Yeah, he's not a main character like that.
Well, since y'all brought up the other franchise, I'm just glad that Master P won't be on anymore. I don't really care about Romeo, but I'm glad Master P won't be on, because that comment about taking advantage of Angela in her depressive state and like really made it like that was a good thing to say. Like I forever can't fuck with that nigga after that. Like look, he making money coming out with good. I can't even support him. Like the fact that you would even say that you will take advantage of a woman in a real vulnerable position, and then turn to her, I think it was Eric saying, we would have did that. And I'm like, dude, seriously, are you really saying this?
That
Why
was
the camera's
crazy.
not rolling?
See, everybody forgets that Percy is still an ignorant New Orleans nigga, okay? And what I mean by that is our ignorant like transcends. You know what I'm saying? People that have money, people that, have made it out the hood. They don't sell drugs no more. None of that, okay? Only the most expensivest of shoes. And still somehow have a fucked up mindset about just life in general. And I feel like he's one of those people, because the idea that Romeo deserved a pat on the back for not taking advantage of Angela when she was hurting over her baby daddy being killed. Like, I just kind of felt like, first of all, you don't get cookies for doing the right thing. So slow your roll. And second of all, nobody wants to be with your old puss ass son. Like, it ain't even about ICDC college like you was upset about. It's not even about that. It's about the fact that we can't see Romeo without you, all white girl. Don't nobody have time for him. And he don't want Angela. Child, I'd be surprised if he want the white girl. But, I can't say nothing, but I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah. He is always double caked up on a Thursday, and there's a reason that whenever you see a man doing too many squats, There's a reason he's keeping that pussy tight.
Well,
I mean, I'm glad he said it.
There's a reason that he's hanging out at the gym. That's why I feel like Martell Hope from Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I don't even think it's I'm really attracted to men. I think it's more of a, can I get
like
it?
to bump everybody. Yeah, if I'll do it because I can type of situation.
That's it, girl. That's it.
Well, as far as Master Hips is concerned, I didn't like how Master Romeo were basically coming at Boogie last season because Boogie, I don't know, I don't like for nobody to fuck with Boogie like that. And
I don't either.
Boogie,
they really pushed my man up in a corner. Yes,
I didn't like it at all costs. Boogie don't fuck with nobody. He real cool.
He don't.
But why couldn't Romeo have a one-on-one with Boogie? Like that's what really
right.
Like why you need an entourage to you daddy?
Because
like
it wasn't really necessary. The whole conversation.
Romeo pussy. Look, Master P is a definition of a helpful person who wants to help people, but a fuck nigga. And he raised a pussy ass son. So it's the thing of Romeo can't do shit if he feel like his daddy won't like it, because that's my money comes from my daddy. I have to do what he wants me to do. So I can't talk to anybody about anything if he ain't here. Basically saying, "Good job, son." The fact that Master P did not even acknowledge Romeo said bullshit about Angela, and that was whole reason people was pissed. And I feel like that means he pussy too, because you can't even acknowledge the wrong your son did, and you then made it worse trying to go at Bookie. When Bookie was like, "Well," I'm like, "Why am I even involved in this? Like, this ain't even on me or whatever." They do that because Boogie's so cool. He don't really be fussing. He don't do that. But I do know if Dame had been there, P would have never even went at Boogie. Cause Dame, nigga, what? They do shit when Dame ain't around. Cause Dame and Boogie may have their issues, but I think Dame will always protect his son. Period.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget that nigga crazy. Okay, let's not forget Dame is batshit. Okay,
I'll say this: while Romeo is so concerned about what his daddy think, he need to be worried about his motherfucking phonics, because the nigga act like he's slow. He can't motherfucking talk straight. Like he can't literally compose the sentences and sound somewhat intelligent and fucking eloquent. Like you worried about the wrong things. All right.
Somebody definitely paid for him to go through school.
Was it ICBC?
Yes. It wasn't ABCD. I think he always questioned. I think he always questioned. He questions what he says and what he do, because he don't know how to lead. So whenever he doing, he like, is this the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Because he don't want no backlash. He has led a pretty squeaky clean life, but it's because whatever dirt was done, his daddy did it. So he didn't have to get his hands dirty. So he wanted to act and seem like, okay, I'm from New Orleans. I was around. We was poor. It's like, you was fine, nigga. You wasn't doing shit. Was playing with toys. Like, it's like he really feels as if he is his father's oldest kid who also, came up in the slums. It's like, no, that ain't what you lived. And so he's a pussy ass kid.
Yeah, but
exactly.
See, I heard through the grapevine that he sided with his daddy and kind of pushed his mama out and kind of left her destitute. So I'm not gonna say that he ain't did nothing. I mean, he did some grimy shit.
He did that because his daddy told him to.
I'm fully
aware. Can we wait? While we talking about people from New Orleans, I was scrolling on my timeline to see Lil Wayne tweeting about, how because he had a dream, I am able to live out my dreams, like a message for MLK. And I want to say, first of all, happy birthday, Martin Luther the King. But second of all, how fucking dare you, good sir? Like, seriously, like, I can't with people that, don't understand Black Lives Matter, but want to thank Martin Luther King for his contributions. Like, I don't get it. Do you not? Like, all right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Lil Wayne got his brain is the side of a damn Black Eyed Peas. So I wouldn't even take nothing that he said out his fucking mouth serious.
He told that because he got a pardon today.
Did he?
Oh, I did not know that.
Him and Kodak Black both got pardons.
If
Didn't
Martin Luther
Kodak
King,
Black assault a girl?
Yeah.
I think so. That's why he's in prison.
And that's what you get pardoned for?
I think that orange man who's about to be evicted, we have to kind of ignore. If of all the people to pardon, why those two for one? And if MLK came to any black man on his birthday, it would not be little drunk ass, high ass Wayne. It's just like people like to use people for what they want. I feel like Lil Wayne needs to know there is nothing you can do or say to kind of get back into the black people's graces of we love you, because you really is on some bullshit. And even allowing yourself to be pardoned by that man shows you spoke up for him in response, or in it was a tit for tat. I'll say you gonna be the man we should vote for, and when push comes to shove, when he started to come in, pardon me. And that was the exchange. Fuck Lil Wayne, all of them. Fuck, was he on Cash Money? Fuck them all, because it's like it's all some bullshit now. But not Juvenile, because he ain't do nothing wrong. But not Juvenile.
Sorry.
Girl, that was the first thing that came to my mind, but not Juvie.
Not Juvenile.
I'm sorry, I just had to mention that. Because growing up hip hop, we started talking about a whole nother franchise. They ain't giving us not a damn thing when we start talking about a whole nother franchise.
Right.
Well, we can go ahead and move on to the Housewives of the Housewives of Cynthia. That's what we can move on to.
So from nothing to nothing.
Cynthia.
Right, Jamie. Nothing to nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm sorry.
Basically. Okay, I guess we could start. Do y'all really care about Drew and her husband basically releasing the balloons?
I skipped it.
Okay.
I skipped it in my review. I was like, girl, I'll say this about that. I'll add one thing about that. When I first saw it, I'm like, I feel like, are y'all using that dead man a part of y'all storyline to make it seem as if, the daddy didn't die and now Ralph all of a sudden is a great husband? It's like, no, I get that you want to, repair and fix shit, but the daddy did died 2 weeks ago. Ralph is a full-fledged asshole. The balloon been released ain't gonna change that. And I feel like don't patronize me and make me feel like, oh, okay, he's changed. He hasn't, because he then said, love me for who I am, an asshole. So I feel like it was a waste of time. Drew, I like her. I do feel like she's trying to be authentic. I wish they did not give us so much of their issues to where we can't see past it. If we had a little bit of issues right now, we could have still seen the good in him. But coming out the gate where he left for 3 days and did not tell you, I can't see past that. And daddy won't help me think he changed. It just won't.
Well, I think when people pass away, a lot of folks like to change their mind or their perspective on life in that moment. So I do think that he's gonna go back to exactly who he is, but we appreciate the apology, but I think he's gonna be who he is Ralph, because that's who he's been all these 20 plus years. So his father passing away, it's gonna be in his mind, but he's gonna go back to who he is.
Okay, that phrase was the key word. Take me for who I am or as I am or whatever. I was like, excuse me, absolutely not. No, sir, you got a lot of work to get to work.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's just her being an abused woman. That's all I see when I watch them interact. Her being so happy that they were able to put their issues aside so she could support him, so that they could have good memories. And all I could think about is how when I see abused women, they be always loving the moments where shit is good before it gets bad again. And the last time I feel like it wasn't even your fault, but he makes it your fault. So once again, at some point, something will happen. It'll be your fault, and he'll leave you destitute with them damn kids again. So I just kind of feel like it was just bullshit to me, in all honesty. And that's no disrespect to his father passing away. But I felt like because they were trying to use it as something to make us look over here when this shit is still going on, I wasn't convinced. It was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Come on,
that's
Ayana
exactly what they were doing.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing.
With the whole, you know, like love me as I am. I'm like, dude, get off your Mary J. Blige. She said, take me as I am. That's not you, okay? You real fucked up in many ways, my niggas. It's kind of hard. But the only thing that I wanted to say about that scene is you can see that he really wanted, like, you can see in his face that he wants to grieve. He just doesn't know how to, because of how institutionalized most African American men tend to be. You know, about, you know, be hard, don't be like crying this bitch shit, like, you know, that whole fucked up mentality. I just hope that he has that break sooner rather than later, because I mean, I've seen many people try to be hard, then all of a sudden, at the most inopportune time, life happens, it hits you, and now you sit here boo-hoo breaking down in front of a whole group of people. So I just hope that he has that break sooner rather than later and just allows himself to just fall apart. But I think he's afraid that if he does that, you know, Drew might have something against him, and it's just like, dude, she love you, man. Like, get over it.
I think he knows she's gonna support him. I think there's two sides to Ralph. I think it's the husband side and the side to where he was raised not too close with his daddy, and he just a different kind of person. I think him losing his father and those feelings are completely separate from how he treats his wife. That's why I feel like you can't connect the two. I think, you know, I lost my dad, you know, when I was in 6 years ago. So, you know, it definitely knocks the wind out, like it knocks the wind out of you. But those are still two separate feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like how they're trying to connect them to their marriage. You do know when someone passes away, you want to be better in life. You don't want to let go of something that could work out. But I feel like their issues are so broad, and it's really him, that his father passing away, that's not going to fix him. Like, he needs to work on him. He also needs to agree with father, because you just have to do that. But at the same time, we can't make it seem as if, oh, he's going to be great. It's like, no. And I feel like that's what they did. They made it seem as if, okay, we back now. The father passed away. We want to work on our marriage. I'm looking like, but that's still two different things. He gonna be grieving with daddy forever, but he gonna treat you like shit as long as you let him treat you like shit. Like, you need to fix that shit first and have him do separate therapy for his grief. It's just two different things, in my opinion.
I don't believe any of this. Now I'm going to come with the very not sarcastic, but shit, what's the word? I can't remember the word. But the point is, I don't believe it. I think that this is for a storyline. The show. Yeah, not pessimistic, but cynical. There we go. The cynical view. I feel like, here's the thing. We all had something to say. This was Tyler Perry at its fucking finest. This, to me, the woman is an actress. And if there's one thing you never do in your life, trust an actress on a reality show. I am sorry. This girl needed a check since TLC. So I think her and this husband came on this show to give the whole Tyler Perry dysfunctional marriage. It's too textbook. Everything is too textbook. And it all came out beautifully in the first few episodes. Really, they just happened to capture all of this in the first few episodes of your first season. Really, your life is that drama-filled. Really. That your first day of shooting, and I watched her speak on it, and she said that scene where he said, oh, I left for 3 days, happened on her first day of shooting. I don't believe it, but Tyler Perry wrote it. I didn't watch too much Tyler Perry. I recognize the plot line when I see it. That happened, and got some of her writer friends together, then told her husband, like Kerry Washington told her husband, you better get on this acting shit so we can bring some money to this house. I don't buy one bit of it. It's just too perfect. It's all been too quick. Like Jay Lee said, if it had been a few problems, I might have bought it. But the fact that you just come out with this perfect, flawed Tyler Perry marriage, I don't buy
it. And that's that on that.
Now, Alex, where was your check at? Why didn't you add that on the end?
No, because I said I don't buy it.
No, because when you reading, when you reading, you be going. You don't be thinking about the ending part. You be going and going and going, and you be done, and then that's what it is.
Well, you know what, Alex? I never thought about it that way, but because I do like Drew, but it does kind of give me a bit of a Tamika Perry movie. It does give me Tamika Perry, like completely. It most definitely does. Like I could see Tamika Perry writing out this whole script. I can. Cause it does come across like it's one of those little Diary of a Mad Black Woman movies that Tamika Perry does all the time. So I could definitely see that.
Right. Like
I
there's
can.
something about it that it's insincere. Like they putting 20 on 10. Like I ain't saying, they got a perfect union, but just you come on and just everything's boom, 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 boom. And it just felt very like, especially Drew, especially her acting. Quiet as kept, I believe her husband's acting more than Drew's. She needs to stick
That's
with
true.
Rivers.
Well, you know what? To kind of piggyback off that, Alex, I see what you're saying because it kind of seems like they went straight to the ceiling on their very first season on, because outside of this, where do you go from here? Like you gave us so much, like it's like really like what's up from here? Like I don't know. She might have boxed herself in, and yeah, her next season might not be that great.
Maybe you have a baby on him. Maybe we gonna find that Mitchell in Tampa. The Mitchell's gonna come pop up in Tampa. It's gonna be a baby involved. The mama gonna get evicted, gotta move in. Oh, they gonna get something to get them checked because next season is not. It's gonna be boring if they don't add anybody else. But I think if she's smart, find that Tampa mistress. Okay, let her be a part of your storyline. Move your mama into the house next door to y'all. Okay, and then give us some more drama.
Or and you know what? I think they gonna have to pay us for this, me, you, and Alex. But or what she could do is, since she and Kenya are both beefing, just like the cookie lady got brought on, Kenya can go and find the Tampa lady and then bring the Tampa
But you
lady.
know what? Nah, Kenya beefing with herself. Drew is paying Kenya dust, like fairy dust, beach dust, wig dust, all the dust in the world, all of the black dust or whatever. No one is really feeding into Kenya's bullshit. Kenya is really, little snag remarks here, little snag remarks here, but nobody gives a fuck. Like they like, okay, jokes. All right, girl, bye. Like they're doing that because if Kenya not fussing with anybody, what else does she have? So I think Drew is being smart. She's not even engaging in that bullshit because if she do, that gives Kenya something to have going on. Let Kenya be
Are you
on
talking
the
about
island
on the
herself,
show?
on the
You talking about
show, and yeah. Well, even on social, like even though Drew responds a little bit from the confessional stuff, that's not even really beefing with her for real. That's just like, okay, she said that, okay, girl, I'm here with my husband and my kids in our new house. Where's your husband? Where's your child? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
in
a rebuttal, but not a beef.
But they haven't really been in that many scenes together just yet.
Right. So how was Kenya even how you have an opinion on someone who you have not even had enough interaction with to have
Thank
that's
you.
like me having an issue
Because
with
whenever somebody comes on a show and they're a working actress, Kenya
oh yeah, she was
decides to
mad.
bully them. She takes that on as like some type of, competition. Like, oh, well, you're working in real life. Well, on this show, I'm gonna work you. Like, I'm sure that's like the lame shit she thinks of in her mind. So for one, I think she's jealous. Another thing with Nene gone, who does she have to beef with? Besides
Herself.
Portia, who I felt like she shaded at every turn. But I also think it's because she doesn't like for anybody to be friends with Cynthia. She's jealous.
She
Yeah.
needs to work on her
Right
mental.
on that
Like you
girl is
have a
straight.
whole husband. You have a whole husband who don't like you and don't want to see you. That's what you should be. Beef with Mark. Beef with Mark. His eyebrows, his earring, his nose ring. Beef with whatever he has going on. His restaurants. Like the fact that you have a whole husband who does not come see you, has never. Y'all have been married for 3 years. Y'all have never lived together. How, bitch, is y'all roommate? They not. It's like you beefing with strangers, but your husband's a stranger too, but you won't beef with them.
Okay, but if she beats with Mark, like it's not a fair fight. It is not a fair fight. That's why she's not gonna do it. Because all he gotta do is come on to call her kid, and that's the end of the conversation right there.
I want to piggyback off of what Uriel said beforehand when he was saying that they haven't, when he said that Drew and Kenya haven't been in a lot of scenes. At this point, we really don't know, considering they have cut so much shit out of the show. So it could be some stuff that we're not necessarily seeing at this moment, because it doesn't make any sense how, Kenya, well, how, because Drew really been coming for Kenya a lot on social media. So it got to be something. And then my thing with Kenya is that really pissed me off on the last night when they was at the Candy Cares thing, and Drew had called in, and Kenya was like, Cynthia Love taking in the stray. And I'm just like, okay, so if Drew is a stray, what the hell is Latoya? Isn't she a stray too? I'm trying to understand.
I just have a question for y'all. So
we've known Drew for years now, okay?
But who do y'all think that Drew said, I'm from Chicago? Like, who do you think do y'all think that was Kenya she said that to?
I'm pretty sure Kenya said I'm from Detroit, and then she probably said I'm from Chicago.
Kenya or Latoya.
Yeah, one of the two. Probably both of their ass.
I don't see
I'd say Toya.
I don't see Latoya really trying to beef with anybody. Latoya to me seems more messy, petty, clicky, like her, like more that than let's beef. Drew gives me, bitch, I'll fight you if you push me too far.
Yeah, which is why I think your girl has that. Latoya, she has that annoying tendency to keep saying little slick shit until somebody is just like, okay, so do you want to box or what? Like, what's going on?
A Candace T, Bondi, a Candace T, a drag me.
Yes. A drag me, and then a hand under the neck. Don't forget about the hand under the neck.
Oh, Lord. Let's not even bring that shit up here tonight. Let's not. Let's not. I want to say
blame Alex. Blame Alex. I ain't say her name.
Far away from that as possible. Far away. But yeah, but they did say that Latoya and Drew have a beef this season. So I don't know. It could be either Latoya or Kenya that she said that to. And I do know that they did say that Drew, as the season goes along, she's way more close to the likes of Portia and Shamia, which I was very surprised by.
Well, they gonna clip that shit out too. They gonna clip that out too.
They just throw this whole season away. This whole season is like horrible. You hear me? Like, where's the? Listen, I know we don't want too many fights, but I want to see the good shade fest. I want to see the back and forth. They just need to throw the whole season away.
It's not even that the season is boring. The season don't add up. Like you can tell it's pieced together. So because it's not no cohesive, one after the other thing, it's like, what is, like, no one really knows what's going on with anybody else. And I know they're trying to fast forward to the Charleston trip because that's supposedly when things start getting interesting. But I feel like if that was the case, y'all could have just started there. Like, if you was gonna scrap the shit, scrap everything before it. Like, I mean, do the introductions, yes, but then scrap all that other shit and go here, because the little bits and pieces here and there, I'm looking like, for what? Like, I hope all the episodes going forward is where they say it picks up at. If the next 3 episodes pick up because of the Charleston, okay, I'll get why they did the first 6, how they did it. But like 6 episodes of boringness is a lot for a reality show on a 13th season. Like, y'all can exit stage left if need be.
Now, Jay Lee, now let's be honest. Now, do you really think the next 4 weeks is really going to give us everything? Maybe the last 2, and that's being nice, but the first 2 weeks is going to be just a whole lot of build up and setting up the storyline, and then by the end of like the 3rd week is when we're going to get the beginning of the climax, and then we'll get it all in the 4th week. That's how I see it.
I think if they were trying to get to the trip, this is where they won't cut stuff. They keep saying they was cutting things to get to this part. So I feel like, okay, if that's what y'all been talking, if that's the point, give it to us. You know what I'm saying? And it don't even have to be fighting and drama. Give me some fun shit. Like, give me some, like, Cynthia and Portia talking was cool. A little Kiki, whatever. Like, it's been itty bitty good parts. I'm looking like all the other, like, give me something to laugh about. I'm not even really pissed about nothing. Like, Kenya and her shade is natural. Like, it's like it kind of, even Candy being a bit boring is natural. But I'm like, give me more boring Candy than no boring Candy. Like, where is it? Give me something.
Well, I believe this particular episode that just happened, it was the best episode, but I would say that it was far better than what we've seen so far. I don't know if anybody agrees with that or not, but I think it's a little bit
Yeah.
better than what we have seen so far. So, you know, they may be using this episode to probably set it up. But then again, I also agree with your real as well. Like they set it up like, oh my God, stripper gate. This is where everything is gonna get hot. But then it's like the first week and the second week, oh, okay. Then the third week, that's when everything happened. It's just like when they had these lousy ass 3 and 4 part reunions. The first and second part is always fucking boring. But then the third and fourth part is always the best part. So it's like, bitch, it didn't even have to be no 3 and 4 part reunion. You could just gave us 2 parts and called it a day. You know what I mean? But Bravo love to do this extra shit and it don't help at all. So it is what it is. With that. Okay, so getting off of Drew and Ralph. Um, how did you guys feel when Candy was talking about the child support situation? And then, you know, you got people on social media that feels like, well, Candy, you got all this money, so you need the child support money. Do you agree with that? Do you think that even though Candy has all the money, do you think that she's entitled to the child support money? Or do you think
I
that
Hell
wish.
fucking yes.
this
Hell
let me
fucking
start.
yes,
Let me
she's
start. Let me
entitled to
start
it.
off. Let me
Absolutely.
start
Hell
off.
no.
Here's the
Oh,
issue.
Alex.
That is Riley's money. She is completely entitled to it. However, because so many people are really financially hurting right now, it looks bad. It's all about the optics. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. I think that should have been something behind closed doors that did happen, and Riley deserved every penny of her money. I just feel like because so many people are out of work right now and hurting, nobody wants to hear about, the money that she, quote unquote, Candy can technically take care of her, even though Riley is owed the money. It's still like it's not necessary. And so many people are like, you're literally saying, I'm doing a food drive for families who are out of work while you've got millions of, you're squabbling over what is pennies to you while people are really out here hungry. I think that's what the issue was where
I think Candy is too cheap to think that $97,000 is just a drop in a bucket. Even though she's rich, I don't believe for a second that she wouldn't value that amount of money. And because she does give to so many different families and organizations and all of that, I feel like every little bit that doesn't have to come out of her pocket to go towards Riley helps out probably somebody else who she would give money to if she didn't have to worry about all of the money that NYU is going to cost her. Because I'm sure that she's paying out of pocket. That shit is expensive. He should have to give something. And honestly, I feel like I understand that everybody is struggling and everybody is having a hard time and shit. But at the end of the day, nobody is out here living their life so that they don't make you feel bad about what your situation is. So if it bothers you, turn off your TV, get off of social media, do something about your situation. And I'm not saying that in a pull up, your bootstraps type of way neither. Okay. Because I hate that shit. But what I am saying is don't waste your time and your energy feeling a way about what the hell Candy is trying to do with Block, because Block is a dog ass dude that never showed up not one day for his child. This is the least he can do. It's the least she can ask of him. And even though she does have the money, so the hell what? As a woman, I firmly feel like, yeah, I could spend mine, but why spend mine when I can spend yours? Okay?
I agree with that.
Part is,
I think that.
Shout out to Lil' Kim for that line right there, Bondi.
Good point.
I agree. I think that she should get her money. I don't care if she is a millionaire. is owed to her daughter. That girl's gonna go to NYU, go to school, get her undergraduate, then after that, she's gonna go get her Juris Doctorate. That's expensive as hell. So let her get her money. Regardless of how long she may have waited or whatever, it's still owed to her. People have to understand this is back child support. This is what he already owed a long time ago. So if you owe a creditor or whatever, a debt collector, they're gonna be hitting your ass up to the very last day because they want their fucking money from you. In addition, speaking on, oh, well, people are having a hard time and it's a pandemic and all of this. Do you think that the man, Jeff Bezos, give a fuck about that shit? Because he could show divvy out a whole lot of money. No, ma'am. He's out here trying to open up stores. Hello? For Amazon Fresh. Let's be very clear about that. So, no, he out here getting all the coins. So, if that's what Kandi need to do, and this money is actually owed to her and her child, go get your money.
I think the bad part about it is people are trying to count Kandi money as if Kandi has not fully taken care of Riley her whole life. I think if you think about it, $100,000 for an 18-year-old kid when your father was a whole millionaire, like we can't act as if Block work at Amazon Prime making $17. He was a whole producer in the game too. He just chose to not pay child support. And Kandi was like, you know what? Fuck it. I can afford my kid myself. But again, Robbie's 18 now. That money can help her start her life. Okay. And I feel like anyone who feel like, well, Candy's rich, so he was too. Like, allow them both to take care of her. Even though it was back child support, when the little makeup artist said, oh, you ain't gonna get that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Do some makeup and go sit down. Like, why would you, like, who says that?
She'd have got fired. She'd have got fired if it was me. Like, excuse me? Who you talking to?
Yes, thank you for your services.
It didn't make any sense. I feel like people don't like Kandi, so they feel like Kandi is right now the richest one on the show for that particular franchise, and they think anything that she do money wise, even when she said how she had applied for the PPE loans, they was bad about that. I'm looking like, but her business is literally a restaurant. She can't open her business, and even in this pandemic, her stuff had to close. So that pandemic hit everyone, even her. So her saying, like, you know what I'm saying, she's 18 now, she wants this money because she said, let the money go directly to Riley. It don't need to come to me because it's for her. When she said that, any question about why she wanted it should have ceased, because she like, don't pay me back. Give it to her. Let her do what she want with it. And she is in expensive ass New York, an expensive ass college. She's already a spoiled ass kid. That's more money to help her be more stable with and get out of her mama pocket. And Block ain't did shit in ever. That's the least his ass can do.
Exactly. And I would say too, I don't think she should have told people about the PPE loans. Not that she didn't deserve them. It's just keep people out your business. Keep your business out the street. And that's, I wasn't saying that Riley didn't deserve the money. I was just saying, I feel like on the show, because I knew people were going to have an opinion, I feel like, and a negative opinion, I'm like, y'all could have kept that business out the street because you knew people were going to act a fool. You knew people were going to be stupid about it. Like with the PPE loans, they're going to look at you, well, you got all this money. How do you have a business if you constantly, like, that's not how business works, but people don't know that. So I felt like she just should have kept some of that business out the street, but child, that's her plot line.
And even when she,
but then
I
again, though, when
she
you
made
think
about it.
But when you think about it, though, it's easy for us to say that she should have, kept it to herself. But we got to remember, on season 9, he took it upon himself to bring his ass on the show without her even knowing. He brought his ass on the show to talk about the situation with Riley and talk about how he's not in her life. He came on the show with his woman and in the contact and production and all that stuff, and got a check for coming on that show to discuss Riley and discuss Kandi and their relationship. So to be honest, for years, Kandi hadn't really said nothing about Block. Block made this about him when he came on the show.
Period.
So if we want to blame,
I know she said that before too.
Block.
Yeah, she had said that too. Like Kandi like to share a little bit enough to where she has stuff going on. Even with her sharing the PPE stuff, she shared that for people who did not know they should get it. She talked about it to help other people know, like, hey, yes, I'm ripping my money, my checking account money should not go towards my business. Like, I should not put my own money into the business because that makes me more poor. She was trying to help other people realize, you need to protect your business. Kandi is really a helpful person, and she sometimes gets herself in trouble by being helpful because people then judge her for saying what needs to be said, even from a rich person. Like, I wasn't mad that she used PPE. I'm just like, she had 2 or 3 restaurants, a store, all that had closed. That's income that she was not used to. And at that point, filming for the show had shut down. So she had no income coming in, but had to still pay people out. Like, she would have lost more and more money. So even the money that Block gonna pay for Riley, that's money again that Kandi does not have to worry about. So it's like, let her live.
Let her live. And the last thing I'm gonna say, in words of Riley, better late than never. That's what they say. So get your point, Kandi. All I can hear is Riley singing. Better late than never.
Oh,
That's what they say. Period.
Sakina, do you have anything to add to this particular topic involving Kandi and this child support stuff? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, everybody summed it up. Yeah, give me my money. That's how I feel about it. I feel like I don't give a damn how rich I am. Don't be in my pockets. Viewers, give me my money because I did not make this baby by myself. So that's how I feel about it. You want to be a sorry ass nigga? Pay up. It's your fault that you didn't do what you had to do with your money. Give me my money, period.
But you know what? There another thing that was mentioned was that someone mentioned, oh well, Kandi was messing with Block while he was married, and that's why he ain't taking care of his child and all this other stuff. And I'm like, why do people like to use that as a cop out? Whether she knew he was married or not, he still laid up with her and had a baby by her that he know existed. Why do people like to use it as an excuse? That's not an excuse at all.
Because they always want women to be the one that's wrong. The woman always has to be wrong in some type of way, like as if she had more responsibility to his marriage than he did. Like, that's just ridiculous to me, and I have heard that, and that probably is just a rumor, and it doesn't even matter. But the people who say shit like that make me want to nut check them.
Right at throat.
Okay, I think the last thing we're going to get into, because mainly this episode was about Cynthia. Okay, so I think everything else is going to be about Cynthia, unfortunately. Now, in regards to Cynthia, her and Mike discuss Cynthia's father coming to the wedding. They discuss Dennis coming to the wedding. Cynthia also asks for Portia's permission if she wants Dennis to come to the wedding or not. And also, she discussed this with her family about whether she should bring her father to the wedding or not. Now, you guys can go ahead and speak on that first. And of course, after everyone is done, I always give my opinion after I let you guys speak. So,
I think
y'all go.
I think too many people was involved in who should come to the wedding. That is Mike and Cynthia's wedding. Okay, Mike been married 18,000 times. This is her second marriage. I feel like, and they both is old enough to where this should not even matter. I think as far as Mike asking about Dennis coming, I think he should not have asked. It's his wedding too. I think Mike is friends with Dennis. That's what it is. And I feel like the wedding was going to be so large. What does it matter? Like, if anybody think that somebody else portrayed it wasn't there, you're a fool. Like, Atlanta is small. Like, it's going to be people there who don't like. The fact that Kenya would be there and they don't like Kenya, it's like, why make it a big issue about Dennis coming when he is a friend to the groom? Like, I think Portia should not have had any say-so in that based on that whole thing. When years ago, when they invited Walter to something and Kenya was mad, Kenya and Walter wasn't even really together. So it's like he didn't need to be there. So I can kind of get Kenya being upset, but with Dennis is actually friends with Mike. Now with her mom not wanting her dad to come based on stuff, I feel like I call bullshit because the daddy came to Peter's wedding. Like the daddy walked her down the aisle at the wedding to Peter. So if you wasn't mad then, how are you mad now? He beat your ass when it was kids. Like he ain't did shit else to you since that wedding between Peter and Cynthia. He ain't did shit more to make you be more upset with him. So I feel like as a parent, you can say, daughter, I don't like that man. I want you to know that, but you do what you want to because it's your wedding. I don't like how they tried to make her feel bad for wanting him there. That's her daddy. And like I said in my review, if that man died a week after that wedding and she did not invite him, she would have been pissed. She would have been hurt because that's her father. Like as parents, you step aside and leave y'all bullshit alone for y'all kids to do whatever.
For the kids.
It's a fucking wedding. Like,
and let's not forget that Mel has a relationship with the daddy, and I feel like the mama doesn't put that much pressure on Mel. I think this entire time, like Cynthia's whole life, her mom has made her responsible for her emotions. And it shows in a way she feels the need to like ask her permission and then have her daughter back her up. And that's what really annoyed me about the scene, Noelle.
Yeah,
because I feel like once it had all been said, she's like, well, I just kind of feel like, you know, I don't even know grandpa, but I know grandma. And I just kind of feel like, you know, this is what it should be. You know what has to be done, as if she was like basically telling Cynthia, well, you know what I think you need to do. So you need to do it. Like, you the child, first of all. Okay. Second of all, you may not have a relationship with Cynthia's daddy, but Cynthia has some type of relationship with her daddy. And whatever happened with that PSA, I think it pissed the daddy off. I think people had stuff to say to her mom, so her mom felt the way. But I don't believe for a second that her mom is so elderly that she didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Like, I don't believe that at all.
Old. She wasn't old when it happened. And it's like, it's weird to feel like, I feel like they maybe had let sleeping dogs lie. They knew what the daddy did. It had been discussed, whatever. They may not have thought that she then put it out to the public. But I do think, like Bonnie said, the mama acting as if I had no idea what a PSA was. You have been on this show with her since season 2. Y'all have filmed season after season after season with camera. No one can say, I had no idea it was going to be on TV. Mama, you was on the camera. You sat there and got interviewed in front of multiple cameras while you're here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all wasn't off camera somewhere else without Bravo. Y'all was on Bravo's dime. And her mama just did not like that whoever did not know what happened in her past now know. But it's like, that's on you. When Cynthia said at times I feel, bad or responsible for my mama's life being hard because she had me. How can you allow your daughter to feel that way? That came from whatever her mom has poured into her about whatever she had to endure because she was pregnant with Cynthia and whatever that daddy did. Now the daddy ain't shit if he beat her. Boom, we're gonna leave that be. But that's
why I feel like Cynthia feels so responsible to that mama. And also
feel that way.
Right. And I don't like that shit. How you gonna say I feel bad for being born? Like, let's not forget, your mama laid down with your daddy. Okay. Like, it wasn't, from what we understand, it wasn't a forced situation. You laid down and had a baby with that man. And now more than one baby. Okay. And now you want to act like Cynthia is supposed to carry your emotions for your ex-husband, for her daddy. That's not how any of this works. Like, I know people like to believe that that's okay, but that's not okay. And I don't agree with that whole mindset of, oh, well, she's always made sacrifices for us. That's what she's supposed to do. She was the mammy. I'm so tired of people feeling like they're owed something because they were a good parent. Bitch, you had a baby. Like, the baby didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask for you to be their mama, but you laid down, had sex, and then had a damn baby. So guess what? Now it's your responsibility to take care of that child. And when they become an adult, you don't get to hold it over their head, all the sacrifices you made for them in order to manipulate them into doing the shit that you want them to do. And that's exactly what Cynthia's mom has been doing this whole time, and I wanted Noelle to just sit there and eat her food, because as a little girl, I think she thinks she knows more than she actually does.
And she knows
think
nothing.
Cynthia's mama is full of BS, as far as this whole PSA, whatever. Girl, your daughter been modeling for a long time. You ain't stupid. Okay, you know what a PSA is. In addition to that, first of all, you acting like she wants the guy to come move in your house and she don't. It's one day. And you were able to get past your issues the first time when she had the wedding to Peter a long time ago. So I'm confused as to why it's an issue now. But on the flip, Cynthia, you sure you want your daddy there anyway? Because you saw how your marriage turned out when you got married to Peter. So I mean, maybe it's a good thing.
I think her mama and Mel ruined that marriage with her daddy. Her mom and Mel was the ones really poking that bullshit. I think her daddy is so far removed from her life that he don't have no say so whatever. But her mama, her sister, the fact that they held that license away or whatever, and they were actively reminding her on her wedding day, like, you don't do it. Like, to me, that's messy. And I feel like that's why in this marriage or this wedding with Mike, he seems to keep reminding her, like, it's me and you. It's your wedding. What do you want to do? I think before, Peter was just like, I don't care. Mike is actively trying to help her realize, you a grown-ass woman. What do you want to do? This is being you. And I think she didn't have that last time. And I think that's the reason why she's so asking everyone what they think. That's what she did last time. But that shit didn't work that time. Like, that was a horrible wedding and marriage with Peter. It was bad. Like, I think she does not want to repeat that. But if you don't want to repeat that, stop allowing the same people who fucked up the first marriage and the wedding to be included in this one. Like, her mama really makes it feel... I said in my review that parents sometimes will make their kid treat their daddy how he treated them as a husband. You cannot have your kid look at your husband as your husband. That's their father. If he's a shitty husband, some shitty husbands are great fathers. Absolutely. And someone kindly said, well, a man who beats a woman can't be a good father. He can be if he ain't beating them kids. Like, it's a thin line between making sure that you're trying to be good to the kid and being an asshole to the mama. And the mamas or daddies, either way, sometimes make the kids responsible for what they went through as a couple. And you, like my mom and dad, who divorced when I was like in first grade, my mom has never made me or my sister feel like, we have to look at him for what he did to her. She like, you know what? His actions will speak for themselves. I don't have to make them feel any kind of way. And that's why to this day, y'all, my mom, we tight like glue. You know what I'm saying?
To piggyback. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. To piggyback off that, I got another example for you. My mom, like I'm the only child by both of my parents. So my mom's first husband beat her to the point where she shot at him for like the last and final time before she left him, right? She'd already had my sister and all of this type of stuff. But growing up, when I tell you that man used to come by my mom's shop every now and again and say, hey, or I would go and see my sister and be over by his house with his new wife and all of that, as if none of that shit had ever happened. Like, I mean, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy. But for me, I feel like it's because everybody puts their bullshit aside for the kids. Even when it's messed up things like that, like abuse. Yes, it is messed up. It's terrible. But at the same time, it would have hurt my sister more to not have a relationship with her father at all, just because of what happened between the two of them when they were together.
I think more parents should do that. If more parents realize y'all issues ain't got shit to do with them kids, like, let it be what it is. Like, don't even acknowledge it. Like, for me, Ronnie was just there's a deadbeat. Well, he was on crack. Because crack hit in the 80s. He got addicted. It was that. Like, that was what it was. But again, my mom like, you know what? Let him be him. He's great. Like, he's better now. But again, it was like she did not allow whatever they went through to affect me or my sister. And so I think if more parents stop putting your daddy beat me, your daddy cheated, or whatever he, like with Evelyn in the Praxtons, she put into her daughters to not like their daddy based on what he did to them. And sometimes if you don't do that, your child and the parent can have a good bond. You can still hate the man,
And
Don't
look
make
how
them
she
hate
treats
women.
Tracy, because Tracy didn't do that.
She
Like, I
liked it
feel like Miss
anyway.
Evelyn treats Tracy bad because Tracy was like, I'm still gonna be close to my daddy and I'm not gonna move to a whole nother state. Like, did y'all hear what she said? Like, all the rest of the girls kind of moved to be where mommy was, except for Tracy.
And she
I was
stayed
like, what
there.
the fuck? Who does that?
But that's why Cynthia's so
Wow.
messed up, because her mama made her feel as if you was the first kid. You was the reason I stayed with your daddy. You the reason I probably had Mal. You the reason this, you the reason that. And then if they did not cut ties with him, Cynthia still felt like I have to make up for being the reason she was with him. And even now her 50, she's still doing that to this day. And that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you, Taylor. That's definitely crazy.
Yeah, I agree too. Very unfair.
Really, Urel? You have nothing to add to this?
I was trying to let the remaining women on the panel speak. You know, like
Oh,
Queen
okay.
said, ladies first. Ladies first.
Ladies first, ladies first.
Okay, well, I guess.
Go ahead. I don't have nothing to say about this subject.
So probably gonna upset some people, but I wasn't mad with Noelle in that scene, but here's why. First, Cynthia brought her along, and I guess she probably felt that if I have her here, mom won't go all the way off on me, despite the fact there's cameras there, so her mother wasn't going to go there. But you invited this adult. Now, she not grown, but you invited this adult into this conversation. If she didn't want to hear what Noelle had to say, she could have excused Noelle from the conversation. So the fact that you brought her into the conversation, she had every right, even though some of what she said was foolish, she had every right to say whatever it was that she said. First thing. Second thing with the mom. I think we all can agree that, you know, she shares a lot of traits with Evelyn Braxton. But what really got me is, so you said you don't know what a PSA was. Cool, I'll let you have that. But here's what I'm not going to let you have. You know what this show gives, and you know what it's hitting for. You remember when you was trying to have the marriage certificate, how they played that and made sure that actually aired on the show. So now you are sitting here doing a PSA where there is a camera right in front of you, along with the Bravo cameras right behind that camera. So you had to have known that this was going to be shown. You're only mad because you got I don't want to say embarrassed, but you have a whole group of people coming for your neck because this is not the man that they see. Cool, whatever. Yeah, people change, but hey, in her story, he was what he was back then. He may be different now, but this is the guy that it was. Don't really care. But that's why she really mad. And what I don't like is that was a hard scene for me to watch because, like, literally, and y'all heard me say this with another show that we won't mention the name of because we didn't wore it out too fucking much, how a certain parent is talking to a child and they literally become a little kid all over again. And you can see that there is a type of control and manipulation that Barbara has over Cynthia, which is very sad, which is very sickening. When it comes to this wedding, look, she can invite whoever the hell she wants to invite, because again, this is the whole Evelyn thing when she was trying to keep Trina from inviting the dad. It's like, you made me not invite him for the second time that I married Gabe. Now you don't want me to have him here. Like, there is enough room to where y'all can be on two opposite ends of this event. Because didn't that happen at the first wedding that you almost sabotaged? Like, look, her feelings are completely valid. I am not going to sit here and invalidate anybody's feelings. I'm not going to say that, she needs to get over it by somebody and tell them how and when to get over it. But ma'am, you so you need to just stop playing. Like, you mean to tell me in all this time you ain't talk to the pastor, the deacon, the bishop, the rabbi, the priest? You ain't talk to the first lady. You ain't talk to the mothers of the church. Like, you ain't talk to no damn body about this particular issue. Granted, this was one of the best scenes of the show for me, but it was just draining. And I think that's all that I really have to say about that.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Very much so, sir.
Well, for me, when it comes down to this situation, I think just the storyline of Cynthia and Mike's wedding overall is just tired, and it's very so melatonin gummy inducing. Like it's just too much for me. Like it just I don't really care about their wedding.
Wow.
Not to mention, I feel like um I feel like Cynthia's placing way too many people into her fucking business. It's your wedding. You can have whoever you want at your wedding. It's just point blank period. And if a person don't want to see somebody, that's on them. You're gonna at a wedding, you don't know who a person is invited. You know who you're gonna run into. You see somebody you don't like all up and through that motherfucker. But at the end of the day, it's not your wedding. It's somebody else's wedding. So you got to deal with it. I feel like with the whole Dennis thing, if he's Mike's friend, how come he cannot come to the wedding? Oh, because Portia said he can't come. Bitch, it's not Portia's wedding. It's yours. So her opinion doesn't matter. As far as Noelle and Barbara and all this other stuff, I get it. You did ask Noelle for her opinion and all this other stuff, but I did not made her they basically backed her into a corner when she brought it up. It's kind of like, so you mad because you did a PSA that you didn't know what a PSA was, quote unquote. You did a PSA and other people had stuff to say, and not because other people had stuff to say. Now it's the issue for this man to be at the wedding. At the end of the day, that's her that's her father. Just because y'all had y'all issues, it doesn't mean that he shouldn't be there. And yes, I know. And as far as the Portia thing is concerned, because I see somebody's comment, I know that they asked for Portia's opinion. That's the whole point. I said she shouldn't be asking for no one's opinion for anything at a fucking wedding. Portia's opinion don't matter. That's what I said. But okay. But anyway, that's my thing. And then another thing I want to piggyback off of what Jay Lee and Bundy said in regards to parents, separated parents not allowing their issues to come between their kids. I really agree with that because if we're being all the way real about the situation, I know that I talked to my dad for years. We had a tumultuous relationship for a long time. I didn't talk to my dad really until I was 24 years old. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that he wasn't around, but he also, sometimes when your parents have you at a young age, it's like their issues kind of spill off into the onto the kids. And now my dad had other kids, and we were to grow up together because our parents, what are reasons that they own personal issues, their own situations, because this person didn't get along with that person. That's why the kids wasn't able to bond. And now we didn't get a chance to bond and have a relationship until we were in our late 20s and early 30s. Just like Amy said, and just like Riley said, better late than never. But at the same time, if our parents were able to be mature enough to put all of their issues aside for us as the kids, it wouldn't be like that. So I do agree that when parents are separated, they should, regardless of how much you can't stand them, you should put the shit aside for the kids, especially for them to have a relationship and grow up together. That's the main thing.
Yep.
Jamie, Sakina, y'all have anything else to add to this before I move on to the last thing about this show?
Sure, let me go ahead and say something because the people are not feeling my silence. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm just letting everybody talk. But everybody pretty much said everything that I feel like. Y'all said exactly what I said in my review. Miss Barbara Bailey, whatever her name is. I'm not buying that you don't know what the damn PSA is. You know your daughter is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so spare me, okay? And that was not her first season, so you know that it was gonna be aired on TV. Whether it's I don't know how far the PSA went, but nonetheless, it's on Bravo, okay, which is a broadcast. It's on TV, basically. It's on the US, so I don't care about none of that. As far as like I said, I experienced parents putting their kids in the middle of drama, like I have, just to be honest. And that shit is exhausting. I'm the oldest kid, and I always feel like no parent should to do that. It's unfair. It ain't right. It's not a child's place to be picking out on parents. Like, she's out of order for doing that. Noelle should have sat there, ate her food, and shut the hell up, because no, it don't got nothing to do with you. It's about Cynthia and Mike. No need to do all the extra shit. Y'all invite who y'all want to invite, and whoever don't like it, don't show up. Simple as that. Simple as that. Y'all pretty much say everything I feel. So, boom.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well, I guess reporter Jamie doesn't have anything else to say on the matter, because I think that we all said it for reporter Jamie already.
That's it. Back to you, Scotty.
But the last thing about this show, and then we're gonna get into the gossip, was the Candy Cares situation. A lot of people were talking about the fact that there was some shade being thrown from Candy's standpoint about someone who did not donate the way that she thought they would donate. Any
Candy.
suggestions that
Yes, that is correct for $100.
We know it was Kenya. We know that was Kenya. Scotty, you know that was Kenya. Kenya ain't bit more gay, girl. It was Kenya. It was Kenya. We know it was Kenya. Because she's messy. She don't get no money. That was Kenya. But I like how Candy worded it. Like, I'm not going to throw nobody up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put anybody up under the pageant bus. I'm not going to drag no crown over it. But somebody amongst this group, you know what I'm saying, don't be giving no money. And I
Not
think
a post.
it's like, I think Kenya likes, just being there. She wants to be seen. I think Kenya was there for photo op. That's who wanted us for a photo op. It was Kenya.
I think she projects on Portia all the time. Yes.
Yep. Everything she accused Portia of, I think, is Kenya. Kenya likes to feel important.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya likes to feel as if I'm helping do more than other people. So she tries to point out little stuff that someone else might not. Like, y'all ain't even working. Why y'all talking? Bitch, it's a show.
I'm sure people were getting paid to work so that they could just stand there.
Like y'all was in the safe section under a tent with nice little mask on, cute little shirts or whatever, and they had other folk who was doing more. Not saying they weren't, but I think Kenya likes to just
be a boss.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like you're not a boss. You can't watch your husband or your kid or the show or nothing. Like, you can't. Truth be told, what do Kenya do besides be on the show by herself and talk about her hair care product? What else does Kenya have? If anybody can name 5 things Kenya has starred on, opened up, closed up, half featured on somewhere, anything.
Since she was on the show.
She have a YouTube.
Because then we would see that her personality in real life is not as much as, the same as what she portrays on the show.
I just want to say with the whole thing, a couple things. First off, but I sometimes I can't get past her passive aggressiveness, and I'm pretty sure somebody production heard the question, and that's why we got that. But she didn't even have to say that, so that leads me to believe something must have happened between her and Kenya that made her just do that. And the whole, I'm not gonna throw nobody's name out there. Why are you baiting us? Why are you sitting here dangling, the little carrot and pulling it away? Like, I didn't like that. 1, 2. Just like Candy don't like people counting, her pockets and her coins, you shouldn't be doing it to nobody else. And yeah, that's about it.
But was Candy saying that was Candy trying to say that someone did not donate at all? Or did say how someone didn't donate enough? I took her as saying someone did not donate at all. Not really someone didn't give enough money. I think she just worded it that way because Candy usually doesn't point people out for money stuff. I do think she meant someone came and did not donate like I thought they would. Not someone did not give me enough money versus what, Portia gave or what, Rollo gave or whatever. I think
I get that.
Someone did not donate.
That's what I thought. I thought she was saying that somebody didn't donate at all from the group. And when she said that, I instantly thought of Kenya because I was like, everybody else had given, you know what I'm saying? Like Marlo came in with money, here's my $5,000. You know, she came in, and then we had, you know, Tanya, which I'm sure she gave. Her showing up let me know she gave because she got money, so she liked to throw money at stuff. Portia we saw, and Drew called. So it just kind of left Kenya as like, to me, like this, you know, the one that was blinking the loudest. And then Scotty, didn't you say, or somebody said she talked about it on Speak on It, right?
I haven't watched her speak on it yet.
Me
I
neither.
see that she was talking about Kenya.
Yeah,
Kenya was the loudest and had something to say about Marlo.
Pretty much alluded that she was talking about Kenya, but at the same point in time, I mean, Kenya gave Nene all that fever about not donating to that Flint water thing. So I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. I mean,
everything that Kenya has thrown at somebody else came back and bit her in the ass. Everything that Kenya has thrown out at somebody else over the years, she has now experienced herself doing, whether it was not liking somebody for a particular reason or just ragging on whatever. The same shit she complained about is what she now does.
What I'm really pissed off about, because I say it time and time again, in the world to know that I am not a Portia fan at all. But I'm really pissed because Kenya is making me defend her ass, and it's really annoying me. I don't like
Don't
that.
you hate that? Oh, I know you hate that.
Portia really just be minding her business. It's so funny. She really don't be doing nothing to nobody, and Kenya just be going there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm really upset by that because I'm thinking I was gonna have so much fun just yanking Portia by her Remy all season, and here I am defending her all season because Kenya want to be an asshole.
But you know why you do have to do that, Scotty? Because we have to be honest and say that Portia has really changed this season and maybe some of last season since she first came on the show, and she's not as immature-ish or dingy-ish now. So now that she's literally minding her own business, she's a mom now. She's working, you know, was on Dish Nation. Not like she has stuff. She has her own identity now, and so now she's less aggravating. Whereas Kenya don't have shit besides saying I'm Kenya Moore, and it's like, well, that don't pay no bills. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you want? What do you want besides saying I'm Kenya Moore? I think we all have to be like, okay, Portia is not messy no more. Like, she don't be involved in the bullshit no more. So when people come at her like Kenya, it is like, well, damn, why are you really hating on her when she ain't did anything? Like, she's with her. Like, even when Kenya then said how you and Dennis, you know, go back and forth. It's hard to, like, you know, either believe or whatever she said about. It's hard to whatever like believe them or trust what they're going through, whatnot, because y'all go back and forth, and then say, like, if y'all okay, why is it a big issue? You know what I'm saying? And don't try to blame Cynthia wedding for you getting drunk and fucking that man. I'm looking like, bitch, how dare you make it seem as if Portia gonna be weak and fucking this. If she wanna fuck him, she can. That's her baby daddy, and they still working things out. I think Kenya is upset because her and Mark can't fuck.
I'm just about to say that she mad because Mark don't want to fuck her. Y'all, I'm so upset that I have to break this up right quick, right fast, because Popeyes keep showing these damn fried chicken sandwiches, and I swear for God, I'm 10 minutes away from getting in my car and going to Popeyes. With the pickle, y'all. Like, they so good. Oh, my God. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yes, yes. Kenya and her crunchy face.
Kenya and Portia, in my opinion, okay, I actually have no issue with Kenya going at Portia as much as she has been, even though Portia ain't been giving her no attention. Because I feel like last season you was cool with Kenya till Nene came back around, then you wanted to switch up, and then you had all this to say. Okay, so you did all this talking, but now when she came back, you don't want to post up. So I'm a little confused. So I'm like, go at her head, and I find it very funny that Portia is at this place where she's just like, girl, I'm not even gonna feed into you now that I'm the HBIC. I don't really have anything to give to you, but you gave her so much last season, which is probably the reason why Kenya's coming at your head now.
I don't know. I felt like that was because of the way she was going at Tanya. Like bringing Tanya, because Portia's really friends with Tanya. And you bring the girls, dudes, supposed side chick on the show. Then every time she comes around, you picking on her. Like, honestly, at first I was annoyed with Portia too. But then I was like, in real life, if I was friends with somebody and somebody kept fucking with my friend like that and I ain't really like them as it is, I probably would have felt the same way that Portia did. I don't know if it was really about Nene as much because I think that everybody kind of saw Nene not really being a part of the show anymore, but I did feel like Portia was kissing her ass a little bit too hard at that last, oh, you my friend and I missed you. And
absolutely.
You was laying it on too thick right then, girl.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the postpartum. I don't know. But I still feel like at the end of the day, like Kenya always goes at Portia. Like since forever. Even though they tried to make up, I feel like she still makes comments and does little slick shit even before now.
I think because Mark not around, Kenya has more. Because when Mark was around, Kenya was kind of trying. Kenya was more concerned last season with her and Mark's issues. So she was so concerned with her and Mark's issues. Anything that someone did to her, she kind of like let it go. Like she didn't really go at Portia last season, even though Portia was kind of going at her because Kenya was focused on Mark. This season, because he's nowhere to be found, she has all this energy and all this time to. Portia hasn't. I mean, Kenya hasn't. But it's like I think Kenya has all the energy and the time to now go at Portia, and it seems awkward because it's like, why? Like, had she did that last season, it would have made more sense. But this season, it kind of seems off-putting. And you remember, oh yeah, it was stuff last season. But if Mark was around at all, I don't even think Kenya would be going at Portia. She's just trying to have like some kind of either storyline or even something to feed her until next season.
Yeah, she has nothing else going on, so she has to beef with somebody. That's the rule.
I am so glad that Mark Daly is not here right now.
You gotta yell it louder though. She was real loud. I am so happy. Why? I'm like, bitch, don't want to care about wine. Oh, heifer.
Hold on, y'all. Josiah, go ahead.
Okay, y'all, I have to go. I do not feel well. Like I feel miserable right now. I don't know. I have like a huge migraine. And I'm going to take some medicine and knock it down. Like I don't know. You gotta
eat a pickle.
I don't know what's going on with me.
Hell, I hope
I don't have COVID or nothing. But
you do not.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go. Okay.
All right, Josiah, go feel better.
Okay, I'll be watching from the bed. Okay.
And body would go to bed.
Better.
Bye.
All right. Okay. But for me, and maybe I should just let it go. But because if everybody else has, I should. But like I said, I watch these shows and when I review them, I put myself in this situation. The main reason why I still can't stand Portia is that I just feel like Rapegate is just so unforgivable. And I know that if that were me, I would never talk to her ass again. Like, I don't see how Candy is doing it. I don't see how they're cool. But with me, I could never be friends with her again. Like I got a cousin that I don't talk to no more. But
you wanna watch Scotty? Because Portia was smart. Portia apologized and kissed Candy's ass long enough for Candy to be able to get over it. That's the only reason I think they were able to get past it. Because, it took a couple seasons. Because at first, remember, Candy was like, fuck her. Like, she can be here, but I'm not going to give her anything. I think it's like 2 seasons for her to even really talk to Portia. But Portia, like, knew her role in it, admitted it, and then kept going in that I'm going to sit in my shit until I don't have to. I think had Phaedra did that, had Phaedra just admitted that she did some fucked up shit. She spread a fucked up rumor and then kind of sat in it for like a season or two. She could have still been. It could have been a whole different cast now. So the only reason I think they cool now is because Portia was a grown woman about it and just kind of held her own feet to the fire.
It took her a while to get to that point because she kept giving backhanded apologies and whatnot. Like, I'm sorry that you feel, and it's like, no, how about, you know what? I'm sorry for passing around a rumor as if it was actual truth. It took her a while to actually do that.
Yeah. Let me say something right quick. I gotta say something to somebody in the comment section. We know that Kandi got past it. I don't have to let nothing the fuck go. This is my opinion. What I'm saying is, if it were me, I'm speaking for me. I cannot speak for Kandi. I'm saying, if it were me, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And someone in the chat also asked, do I hold grudges? Okay. You should understand. I think you should know my answer when I say this. I'm an Aquarius sun, and I have a Taurus moon. That should say enough. That should say enough. Okay. I wouldn't say that I hold grudges. I think that I'm a forgiving person, but it just depends on the magnitude of what you did, because there are people that have done to me like I've had to probably fuck one of my niggas or something like that, and I forgave them. You know what I mean? I forgave them for it. Most people would never forgive a person for doing that, but I forgave them. But I can't see myself forgiving a person that repeated something that damaging about me. Like,
someone said in the comment section, the difference between that was Portia was dumb enough to believe Phaedra, who was her friend. That's the only fucked up part about it. It's not as if a stranger said it. Like, if Bondi told me, hey, you know you smoke crack, don't you? Well, Bondi, she ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people you feel like don't have a reason to lie about something. Like, it's you know somebody, y'all work together. I think that's the only reason Portia was dumb enough to believe it. The issue is Portia repeated it to Kandi. Like, I think she could have kept it to herself and not brought it up, and then it would have been any issue. But I know people who trust people and then can't believe they betrayed them. It's the same thing. If anything, Portia should have been pissed at Phaedra for even lying to her about it and putting her in the predicament for Kandi to be pissed at her. Phaedra was the real villain, truth be told, because again, she used the trust Portia had in her to turn Portia off of Kandi.
And all because her and Ty didn't stop being friends with Apollo.
It was all bullshit from the beginning. That was all Phaedra.
Here's another thing, though. Comments like this annoys me. Hold on 1 second, you're real. Let me just say this right quick before you even say that. Let me just say this right quick. Because somebody in the chat just said Kandi made this situation a big deal. Why wouldn't she make it a big deal? I don't get why people say that. Why wouldn't she make it a big deal? Are you serious? Go ahead. You're real. I can't.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I'm right there with you. Like, I mean, shit, my mom came in my dad talking about some, you know, you hold on to shit too long. And I look at her like, well, ma'am, I got your personality. So you talking to a mirror right now. But yeah, I'm one of those where, like, I understand why Kandi doing it because it's for a check. But no, I couldn't do it. I'm way too real for that shit. I got a family member right now where I done made it clear to everybody, this person is dead to me. Like, you won't even get the courtesy of me saying hello to you when I step into a room. I don't play those. Like, when I'm done with you, I'm done with you. Like, I can forgive you. Okay, forgiveness is given. Okay, cool, whatever. Can we talk? Hell no. I ain't got no heaven to hell to put you in, but I ain't got to fuck with you. Not at all. I don't have to give you my precious energy. Fuck you and that. So I can understand that. And then here's the thing, like, people talk about she made it a big deal. This is a rape allegation alleging that not only did you drug somebody, that you wanted to rape someone, especially when we know Kandi don't drink. She don't participate in those things, and she has a plethora of businesses. Plus, if you put this in the grand scheme of the show airing, her vindication did not come into the reunion. So when this aired, the rumor was out there, and she couldn't diffuse the rumor because it was out there. So that right there is damaging. If you think about people in Hollywood where just an accusation, people losing jobs, their livelihood, careers, and everything. So yeah, it is a big deal.
And Kandi said even after that people still came at her, calling her a rapist because of what was said. And not only did they implement Kandi, they implemented her fucking husband. You is trying to accuse a whole black couple, a black man and a black woman, of wanting to do drug and rape you, which makes people think, okay, can we really trust going to a Kandi's dungeon party event? Is she out here, drugging and whatever? It's like, you really try to ruin her name. Like, it's one thing to say, she want to fuck you. Okay, that's one thing, but you added the whole drugging and raping to it. That's why Kandi was absolutely pissed, because she's a businesswoman with multiple. She's a producer. She has her business. She has all these things that would have just failed to the wayside had no one trusted her, because she's now someone who Bill Cosby's people. It's like they basically Bill Cosby'd her. And she had to fight her way back, acknowledging that. And if Portia would have never said that it was Phaedra who said it, the lie would have never came to the fruition of it was a lie. It would have still been looked at as it was factual because someone said it. Phaedra was going to let that lie go down and let people think that Kandi was trying to drug and rape people. That's the bad part. That's why I feel like Kandi does not want to forgive, or did not want to forgive, Phaedra over Portia, because Phaedra stayed silent the whole time. And even when it came out, she still kind of, well, let me. She never really even explained it.
She was also like insolent about it, like, kind of stuck her chin up in the air at the reunion and was just kind of like, I'm not gonna speak on it, it is what it is or whatever, which made it feel even more like vindictive, that you were like actually thinking ahead of time of a plan to get back at Kandi, and you took it to this level. Like, it definitely made Phaedra seem very calculated and sinister, and Portia seems stupid. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? She is.
With that though, even at the reunion, how Portia but I asked you, she was like, no, you clearly said somebody told me that you and Ty wanted to, so you said in an accusatory way. So yeah, like it's one thing where if she would have came like, hey, look, I heard this, whoop wop whoop bop bam, but like accused her. So yeah, like again, Kandi is a better person than me to sit here and let it go the way that she did. I applaud her. I do, because I'm a take ass. No, I'm just saying, if it was me, I would be shading her every fucking chance I get. Every time the camera is on me, I'm gonna say something slick. Every time she in my presence, I ain't gonna do this shit passive aggressively. I'm gonna say this shit to your motherfucking face, because you literally just try to sit here and take me down on some what shit. Oh hell no, fuck that.
And then, it just goes back to when a person asked me if I hold grudges. I mean, in my eyes, it's not a grudge, but at the same time, it's a grudge. Because if you do something fucked up like that to me, I would never talk to you again. And when I say that, when I say you're dead to me, that's really what I mean. You are dead to me. If I see you anywhere, I don't care where we at. We could be at the grocery store. We could be at a funeral. We could be anywhere. I have nothing to say to you. Nothing. Like, I got a cousin right now that I don't fuck with right now. If I seen him get hit by a bus, I will keep driving.
I'm sure Portia regretted that moment after a while. Oh, go ahead, Scotty. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just, when I don't fuck with you, I'm mean as fuck though. Like, I agree with everything someone said. Like, everything y'all said, she probably does regret it. But all I could think about was, for me, when things like this happen, it's like I would have never done that to you. So why would you do that to me?
Right.
Like, I guess that's where it comes from with it. I don't know, but yeah, I hold grudges. Like I said, I'm a Aquarius sun and a Taurus moon. So that should let you know. I'm stubborn as hell and I don't let things go that fast at all. It's gonna take a miracle and a wing and a prayer for me to let it go. But I guess we're done with the housewives, so we can go into the gossip stuff. Maya Meeks, baby, be quiet, child. I said what I said, girl. But anyway, what's the first topic y'all want to get on? Y'all want to start off with the miscellaneous Tamar Braxton and how she's now saying that WeTV is the reason why she got fired from the Real, even though she blamed Lonnie Love for it.
Thank you. Next.
Tamar be on some bullshit 8 times out of 10. You know, she was on her own little podcast with Nene of all people. It's like, you know, the blind leading the blind. And when she brought up how she heard that when she was let go from the Real, that WeTV was the ones pushing the buttons because they did not want her on that show anymore. How she just wished that they would have told her up front. But she kind of blamed WeTV, saying that they allowed her and the girls to be blamed for. They allowed Lonnie to be blamed for. They allowed them to be fussing and fighting in public. I'm like, bitch, you did not believe them when they told you we didn't do it. It's the thing about it's one thing to be like, WeTV maybe knew they did it and didn't say shit. But at the end of the day, when you tell someone you did this and they say, well, I didn't do that. I did not do that. You made the choice to not believe them. You made the choice to then go in and in and in and made it more and more and more about how bad they were. You unfriended them. You did all the negative shit to them for them just saying, we didn't do this. So I think you cannot blame WeTV because you couldn't stop. If I say Bondi pushed the off button and she said, I didn't push the off button. Yes, she did. I'm pissed. If I keep going at Bondi and but she didn't do it. Truth is, Scotty did it. I can't be pissed at Bondi because it was him saying she kept going at them all these years later, and now, oh my God, it was WeTV. No, it was you. And I feel like even if WeTV did not want her on that show anymore, it could have been because of her antics. Who wants to have the star of their reality shows also being difficult on this talk show? It makes that means they can't do business because they have a person who is just difficult. And I think the fact that Tamar just will not accept at that time of her life, she was unhappy and she was difficult. And anyone who can't see that is batshit crazy, like Tamar is. But make sure you bless and all that stuff.
I think she don't got her fired, to be honest. Tamar never owns up to anything. She doesn't take accountability for her actions. Tamar can really sit up and talk to people crazy, and when she gets it back, she's crying. I don't understand it at all. Like, she's a 40-year-old top. Like, that's what she is to me. And I like, since she's saying that WeTV is the reason, has she apologized to Lonnie for blaming her publicly for it? Has she apologized to Tamara for blaming them publicly? Like, she went through all of that stuff, blocked all of her friends who even went on her. Like, I really believe that she does have. We already know that Tamar has issues, and I really try not to go in on her like that, being due to the things that she's gone through over the last couple of months. But I can't stand her. I never have. Like, I can't stand her. Anytime somebody drag her, I'm all for it. Cause, like, fuck you. Like, you have a bad attitude. Like, whatever.
I'm trying to figure out why we even still talking about the Real this many years later. Like, I'm trying to figure out why would she even bring this up? Like, what? Like, girl, you have been so far removed from the show. Like, I'm confused as to why you're bringing this up. And then it seems like whoever she's mad at the moment, that's the person that got her fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at one point I was hearing it was Vince. He was the reason. Then I heard it was Lonnie. And then now here it is, you really upset with WeTV. So now it's WeTV? No, ma'am. At this point, I'm starting to think it's you. You got yourself fired, is what I'm starting to believe.
And then she at
like
one
she
point that she had
overreacting.
proof that it was Lonnie. So how you had proof it was Lonnie, but now you have proof that it was WeTV?
Right. I'm so lost.
She don't know who did.
Speaking of Lonnie and WeTV, I just want to say, WeTV people, please stop Lonnie from narrating the damn Bridezillas. Please stop it, because it makes it so less interesting. Please, she is not helping the show. I know you got her. I'm so sorry, Soror, but girl, listen, this ain't it. This is not it, ma'am. Y'all gonna have to take her off, because I cannot even enjoy the show because she keeps talking over every little thing. So y'all need to get it together. I'm sorry. That's like a little insert cliff note type. Go ahead.
I didn't even know people were still watching that show, because that was just as scripted as anything else.
I just had to say it. It's killing me. I had to say it.
Okay. Bundy, and y'all have anything to say about this before we move on?
No.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, let's get into Chris Stokes and Raz B. Okay. Now, we all know that Raz B has made his, has talked about his story in regards to Chris Stokes sexually assaulting him as a kid. He's been talking about it for over a decade now. People haven't been taking him seriously for years, and I do know that he was scheduled to do an interview with Jason Lee on Fox Soul, and it was canned because Fox did a cease and desist now, or something like that, I believe. So, I want to start off by saying, because I said this on another channel when I was on T Said What T Said on her channel. I think when it comes down to males and sexual assault, people never take it serious. People don't think that men can be sexually assaulted, to say the least. And for many years, people have never believed Raz B. They've always taken him as a joke. So I think it's sad that he can't come out with a story at all because people seem to not believe it. And or not only that, because Christoph says he didn't do it, we're supposed to believe it. But I really believe that he did it. And as far as even with Marcus Houston, because I think he even said Marcus Houston had something to do with it too. As we all see, as a recent Marcus Houston just married a young ass girl. Wasn't she 18 and 19? And he's sitting up here damn near 40. So I mean that's enough. So I mean, y'all can take the flow with that. I'll come back after y'all done, but y'all can take the flow on me.
I feel like I don't know what's going on right now. I mean, you just pretty much caught me up on what's going on in the media right now. But I mean, he's been saying this for years, and I 1,000% believe him, because a lot of people supposedly come up in this industry. They sell their souls, and the younger kids and all of that, they get mistreated behind the scenes. They get violated and all that. So I definitely believe what he's saying. I feel like when it first came out years ago, I was a little uneasy. I never doubted what he said, but I was like, damn, if you're gonna tell the story, you ain't got to include the rest of the band members, because they may not be ready to tell that. But I just feel like the way that shit is going is just like, let him get his story out, because this may be part of his healing process. Like the fact that everybody keep trying to act like ain't shit happening and Chris Stokes still out here doing whatever the fuck he's doing. I do believe that Marcus Houston has something to do with it. Just like you said, he is dating. I think it's Chris Stokes' daughter, if I'm not mistaken. And she's 18. So it's like, when niggas do shit like that, I feel like you were plotting on her at a young age, very similar to R. Kelly and all of them. So yeah, I believe everything that Raz B is saying, and I think it's fucked up that they ain't let him get what he need to say out.
I definitely think it's two different situations going on. I know with Marcus Houston and that girl. The girl is supposedly the friend of Chris Stokes' daughter, not his actual daughter. I believe the girl was 19. Not that any of that makes it right. Raz B has always remained steadfast in what happened with him. Like, he has never kind of changed the story, even though I agree that he should not have brought up anything that may have happened with other people, because that's their story. I still feel like the reason people possibly did not take him seriously because the people who he said it happened to denied it. So it's when somebody come up, and that's why when you tell your story, it should be your story. If you then say it happened to me and you and you and you, and then they say that ain't happened, that's why I think people did not believe him, because the people he included denied it. Had he just said it happened to me, no one can deny what happened to him. So I think for years that's why no one took it serious enough where which they should have. I think now I'm surprised they are taking it down and not allowing them to talk. So many people are freely giving their stories. I don't understand why Raspy is being muted. It kind of does not make sense to me. As much as Jason Lee and all of them will spill tea and say this and that and this, why is it that this person isn't being allowed to talk? We've heard of other people having cease and desist, and they still come out with their stories. So I think it seems like it's something else going on as to the reason as to why they not letting him talk, and I don't get why.
I'm gonna say that I always believed him, even from back in the day when he like first started talking about it for real. I feel like he was still in like Asia, Tokyo or something like that, the first time he got on camera to talk about it, and I always believed it because to me, I feel like there's certain things about people that speak to that energy, so it always seemed like it was true. Now, as far as like the other guys saying that it didn't happen to them, I always felt like, well, just because it didn't happen to you necessarily in the same way, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen to him, because like a lot of men do, you know, they know who to look for. They know who to do that type of shit too, who they'll get away with it with, who people will just think is crazy, all of that. But I also felt like even before he came out and said something, there were rumors about Immature and about what was going on in their group. So I felt like that was just something that was more so on the lines of things that I had already heard about Chris Stokes, which is so unfortunate because he makes a great straight to DVD movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the lot of stuff that's on like BT Plus and UMC Child, you look at them credits and it'll say producer Chris Stokes, and it'd be good
Great
ones too.
movies, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'd be so disappointed. I'd be like, oh, here go Chris Stokes. But I'm gonna watch it because it got other black people in it. You know what I'm saying? And you feel like you gotta watch the stuff that we be coming out with when it be good. Okay. But either way, like I've always kind of felt like it was true. It's unfortunate that he is not able to speak his truth on a platform in which he will, you know, get some type of levity or some validity to his story, because I feel like a lot of that has to do with the platform that you're on. But at the same time, this is 2021. And if you have something to say, get your ass on social media and say it. You don't need an interview. All you got to do is say what you got to say and send it to the Shade Room and Neighborhood Talk and everybody else, and they'll post it because you were already supposed to talk about this shit. What you say, Dilly?
I wonder if someone wants to get paid off story and they can't get paid off story, and that's why they keep muting it. Because like you said, he can go anywhere with he can go to his own page and fully just say what happened and then let all the news outlets pick it up. It's a weird thing. Like, what is I do wonder what is his end goal? Like, is it that he just wants his story out, or is he hoping to get Chris Stokes arrested and charged? Like, I do wonder like what.
I don't think he knows what he wants. I think he just wants somebody to believe him. I think he wants to feel like somebody or a large group of us believe what he has to say. I'm not sure exactly if he knows what that looks like, but I'm guessing that the silence or people ignoring him all of this time is making him go crazy a little bit, because it's that same shit of how you gonna tell me that this didn't happen to me when I know it happened to me because I was there. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope that whatever happens, he gets to heal from this, because this has been something that has affected him basically ever since it happened. His whole adulthood has been him talking about this situation, and I just really want some type of resolve to it so that he can heal and be better for it. And honestly, if something did happen to him and Omarion and all of them who are, claiming to be Zen and all of that shit, if y'all never come to dude aid, I find that fucked up. Even if you don't want to put yourself out there like that, to not show him support and say, you know, I don't know about, you know, myself. I ain't had nothing happen with me, but I remember this one time where dude did, you know, was in the room with him for a little too long, or, you know, like y'all know y'all saw shit. Don't do that. Y'all know y'all saw shit. That's why he put y'all in it.
But
it maybe didn't happen to you, but for sure you were around when the shit was happening.
Yeah, I agree. I believe
but you know what?
Raz always have, as you guys said. I don't see him. I don't see any of them at this point in their life speaking up and backing Raz B, but I definitely see them later on, like Quincy Jones telling everything at some point. But I don't see them supporting them right now. But I definitely believe everything Raz B saying.
Yeah, because even with the way this stuff is going about, it's just like what we talked about before when we discussed R. Kelly and the things that he did. It goes back to people see what's going on to the rug and they want to pretend like it's not going on. You know what I mean? Like, I think all these people that was around Rasby knew what was going on, and when he decided to speak on it, don't say nothing. It's kind of like when someone gets sexually assaulted in black family, and I'm just gonna say black families because that's all I can speak on. I can't speak on what goes on in white families. I only know what goes on in black families. But I know in family period, when someone is sexually assaulted by a family member or someone close to them, they don't want you to speak on it. They don't want you to talk about it. They want you to forget that it ever happened. They don't want to believe it. It's like it's still so taboo to the point to where nobody wants to discuss it, and especially when it's a male coming out saying that he was sexually assaulted. It's either A, he's gonna be looked at as a joke or laughing stock. No one's gonna take it seriously or nothing like that. So it's people really do ignore it when it comes down to males. I really hate that people do ignore it because when I did my video on Rasby, I spoke on my own situation where I was at work and a man tried to rape me. I was at work minding my own business and a man tried to rape me, and no one took it seriously. I was just doing my job as a customer service person. This man kind of lured me to a bathroom, and then he tried to assault me in the bathroom. If it wasn't for me fighting him off, he probably would have he probably had to me. So us and them about it, they laughed at it. They didn't think it was. They just thought it was just some man that was hitting me, but no, that was trying to take my manhood from me. So I mean, nah.
Okay, so
So it's crazy.
what I'll say is in reference to Jason Lee not being able to do the interview, I feel part of that is Jason could have still did it, but I think he don't want a Wendy Williams himself. And what I mean by that is, if y'all remember, Wendy Williams talked about any and everything, didn't really care when she was on the radio. And now that you know she is, on TV, you see that she can't book certain stars, or there's certain areas that she can't get into because of that checker pass or those things she did. So I think that's part of the reason Jason Lee not gonna do it, because he still wants to have that foot in Hollywood. When it comes to the other boys, well, first off, I do believe Raz B, but when it comes to the other boys, I think they not trying to mess up whatever they got going on, because Omarion is not trying to lose his bag. I know Jake Boog does not management, but bookings and whatnot. He not trying to mess that up. And for Raz B, two things, bro. I want you to get some healing. Like go see somebody, go talk to somebody, get some extensive therapy. And also, if you trying to make a coin, if you can't tell the truth because you feel you're gonna get sued, do what Sheree Whitfield did. Tell your truth and just change the names of people and just make it a fictional story, but still put it out there.
I think as far as the other group members, I do think sometimes you have to realize, even if things happen to them, they may not want to deal with it how Raz B do. Sometimes people want to move on from it and not bring it back up. So that could be their way of not, going back into whatever mindset they was in when it did happen. I think with both with men being assaulted and women being assaulted, sometimes people don't believe men, but they also sometimes don't believe women either. I think the double-edged sword of your blackness in general, and it's even worse if you're black and you're rich and you're a star, because at that point they make it to where, okay, why were you either in that predicament, or you had to do this to get that, so why you mad about it? I think overall people have to understand everybody has different levels of trauma, and the way that Raz B seems to be expressing his, you can see that physically he looks like he is going through things, with what happened to him, whereas if Omarion or anybody else, they don't look like anything happened. It could be because they either moved on from it or it did not happen at all. Either way, I do really wish Raz B would allow himself to heal, get therapy for it, versus trying to force people to believe it, because I do believe people believe him. And the ones who believe him, you don't have to convince us, because we believe you. The trouble that happens is people want to convince people who don't believe them that something happened. Don't worry about them folks. Worry about the people who support you, who want you to get better. Because otherwise, you will just kind of drag yourself for years, still being depressed, upset, and stuck in that place of assault.
And right quick, somebody said that I forgot Lil Fizz. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. To quote Moniece, I did not forget Tiny Little Fizzle Pop. Because not trying to be shady, but what does he have? April? Okay. What does he have? Good lotion? Yeah, probably not. What does he have? A music career? Yeah, I don't think so. So Lil Fizz ain't got shit. Plus, I mean, Lil Fizz need to worry about himself right now, especially given the fact that you just sat here and fucked up your own bag, and we got Omarion being unbothered by you and making sure that you don't get no more of the baggage. So yeah, I didn't forget about Fizz. I did.
Hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Hey, T.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey.
Girl, listen, I can't get in here and get my scrubs off good without hearing about somebody trying to take your puss down to the ladies' room. What did I walk in on?
Oh my God.
What did I get? What did I walk in on? What did happen?
No, we were talking about assault. About assault.
We were talking about Raz B, and I just talked about my own experience with a man trying to assault me sexually. That's what I was talking about.
Girl,
I'm not gonna lie though. When you said it at the end, the way you said it, it sounded funny to me. But I didn't want to laugh because I didn't want to make it seem like I was laughing about the situation. But when you was like, he tried to steal my manhood, and I don't know, for some reason that tickled me in my spirit. But I didn't want to laugh because the actual situation is not funny.
Yeah, it's not. Listen, Raz B been telling the same story since 2004. If that man ain't lying,
I agree.
Yeah, that man ain't lying. Raz B's story has never changed. He's not lying. And the reason why Fizz and all of them is disagreeing with it is because, according to him, they was all in on it. They ain't mind doing it. But y'all, I saw what Fizz got on Twitter. Girl, please. I don't know what these bitches wanted him, child, because that I see why Moniece gave him that name. It's the appropriate name to give him.
I'm sorry. He's not packing?
Girl, no, you ain't seen it. Girl, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send it to you in the DM, child. I'm gonna send it to you. Girl, y'all gonna get. Y'all gonna be like, so y'all doing all of this over this?
That is so unfortunate.
Send it to Bonnie by yourself. Don't put it in the panel group.
Just send it to Bonnie. Please just send it to Bonnie. Don't do that.
Oh dear God!
Hey,
you look at the dick every day. Yours. What you see one?
How about y'all just ignore the message and let us live?
Right, let us look at it. We want to.
It ain't even nothing to be desired. So you know,
I probably shook y'all real up when I seen him Yellow Beezy. He probably shook him up.
No, I'm not posting it on the panel because Scotty Page is gonna get rated and every damn thing else. No. All right, y'all don't need to see that disgrace that he called a dick, dear God.
Okay, well, just send it to me in my DMs because I want to see. Shit.
Somebody
Because
said light skinned
Omarion,
don't be packing. That
that's
is
a
not
lie.
true. It don't matter what shade you are, okay, what race, whatever. If it's
It
big,
do
baby,
not
it's
matter.
big.
Yes,
Okay,
I don't know where y'all get that from.
that is the myth, honey. Listen.
But my bad, I ain't mean to come
what
up here and ratchet it up. My fault. Go ahead, y'all.
We appreciate it.
You can come back, y'all real.
what was the next topic though? Because I know Bundy mentioned something too. All y'all mentioned some stuff before we got on here.
Did you mention Lucci? I don't know what she mentioned earlier.
Jay Lee mentioned Lucci
Oh,
and his
okay.
murderous ways. Y'all go ahead.
I'm hollering.
Life,
To quote
life,
Jay
life,
murderous ways.
life.
That's what it is. It's murders. I think when we first heard that he was wanted, we thought, oh, he killed somebody. But to find out this fool was a driver doing drive-bys, I'm like, why do you have time to do drive-bys in a pandemic when you was a whole rapper?
I mean, that's basically the same thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna get about the same charges for being, the driver. So at the end of the day, we might as well look at you like a murderer with your dumb ass.
Yeah.
And then for the fact that the person was killed that was your boy and was shot in the head from return fire, that's crazy. You go or try to drive by shoot somebody and you end up getting killed from a gunshot to the head from the person you're trying to shoot. I'm like, now that is
Foolishness.
crazy.
That's like that lady that ran up in the White House in the Capitol, thought she was going to sit up there and riot and stuff, and she turned around. Good night.
Turned around. Good night. It's stupid. I think it shows how people get money and they just stupid because it ain't there. What was the reason? Why are you a gang member if you was YFN Lucci, who's supposedly rich, making like? Why do you have time to go do shootouts?
Because he perpetrate. He ain't got no real money, and any money he probably had was from all them illegal, nefarious situations. They probably gonna bring him up on RICO charges and everything else with his dumb ass. When will y'all learn from Bobby Shmurda? When will y'all learn?
So his homeboys, they snitched. So his homeboys snitched on him and confirmed that he was the getaway driver.
Well, no, they had like video that the dead dude had put out saying they was gonna fuck shit up, and then I think from something that Lucci put up, they knew where he was, and then the other guy who survived the shooting supposedly said who did it. So it's like it's enough evidence for him to at least be a conspiracy to the murder. And I'm like, the fact that y'all tossed that dude out the car because you couldn't take your friend to the hospital to toss him out the car because I'm like, wow. So it's like the more details that come out, the fact that he was even the driver to me is crazy. Like how you drive? That's like the lowest rank, right? If I'm the big boss man, I want to be the shooter. Let me be the shooter. If I can't be the shooter, then I shouldn't be here.
The big boss man wouldn't have had shit to do with nothing. The big boss man would have had runners. He wouldn't have been doing. He just would have put in the order. He would have been nowhere near them scene.
I wonder if Resume go bring this up on the show. I wonder if she go bring up Lunchbox going to jail on T.I. and Tiny the Family Hustle. I wonder.
She probably will. It's gonna be a good season.
She will.
I'm sure she will.
She decided to go back to his ass. She did all that shit on social media trying to act like she done rose above the bullshit. She don't want to date no more rappers and all of this. Now she back with Lucci lame ass and his ass done went to jail. So girl.
And now she's talking about oh, he'll be home soon. I said, girl, oh yeah, bitch.
Oh girl, no, he's
that's what I said.
Love after lockup.
No man. Okay.
That man ain't getting out no time soon, child.
Well, love while in lockup. Love while in lockup.
Because they denied his bail.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the Barbie. I hope the people ain't get rid of it because I did bookmark it. Don't judge me, but I did bookmark it. I guess he ain't want people to roast him at that little 8-year-old dick he got swinging around the damn ass.
Before y'all goes out, let's go. Let's get back.
Lord Jesus.
Let's go back to talk about Lucha and Resume. Before it does another disappearing act.
Resume.
Ooh,
Resume. She knows she want his big teeth ass back.
I don't like that little girl. That little girl buzzed me. So many people saw for her, but I was one of the ones that did.
I did not like Resume at all.
It's
she was annoying as hell. She was annoying, but she was growing on me a little bit. She seemed like she had matured, but then like now I see she back on her bullshit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck now.
She got them tits, don't know how to act.
Yeah.
Lord, somebody save
I feel like
Lil
she know
Reagan.
how to act since Sweet 16 when she kept talking about her daddy.
Somebody go save Lil Reagan. Now's the time where people need to call the damn CPS. Any other time they call them hoes.
I think Reggie needs someone to humble her, and then she'll stop being so aggravating. I think she's lived a very charmed life. Like what has really happened to her to make her realize, calm the fuck down. Like I think this may humble her a little bit, but maybe not, because I think she can also distance herself from him real smooth. Like, oh, we were just friends. We went back together. That's all. But I'm like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
Well,
I thought that this was humbling her a little bit when she broke up with him. She seemed more likable, more aware of the company that she was keeping. But I mean, I ain't gonna say she bothered me now, but it's just like you back with him. Okay, happy. Like, girl, do you, and you see what happened. The nigga in jail. So yeah.
Put money on his books.
Okay.
I mean, to quote Kaya, all she gonna do is call her daddy.
Baby, what she gonna do? Get back from his ass? Nobody wanna know back from her coked out raggedy ass daddy. No. But Wayne was a fucking mess. I would never seek advice from
Now, as far as the next one, y'all talking about Wendy Williams. Now, what happened with her again? Because I know she been in the blogs quite a bit too.
Yeah, what happened with Wendy? I heard she called her brother out on the show.
She did.
Well, her brother, who we never really heard much from beforehand, all of a sudden is always on social media with a badass camera, badass Wi-Fi, saying because his hours are blurry. And seeing how Wendy didn't go to his mama's funeral, and he can't believe that she didn't go, making it seem as if Wendy's a bad person. So y'all know Wendy usually never responds to shit on her show. And the whole Hot Topic section, she was like, look, you just my brother. Like, don't try to comfort me, whatever, because I can say this and that about you and your wife. Like, she was reading him for filth on her show without really giving out any specifics, but you could tell for a fact that one, they probably ain't that close because of whatever he got going on. And two, her saying like, don't come at me to where you are in my comment section about shit. Don't make people feel some way about me because I would tell them about you. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she was going in on him, and I feel like she was alluding to the fact that it's a bit shaky, and he may actually be on the other side of the fence. When she started talking about her blouse and it had fur on it, she was like,
he like this
Tom or something, or Tom.
Wait, what happened? She said what?
She said she asked her brother, like, do you like my outfit?
He'll like this.
He would like something like this and start rubbing on it. Then she asked Norman. She was like, Norman, do you know what I'm saying? Though, because I really could air him out. Do you know what I'm saying?
He was like, yeah.
She was like, yeah. You know
you trying to say your brother like Dick? You trying to say your brother like Dick on the low? That's what you trying to say.
Okay, well, Wendy, the gag is you still trying to figure out is you a damn man or a woman while you sitting up here trying to come after the damn gay jokes with your damn brother. I don't like no shit like that, girl. We all remember how your bulge was sticking out in the middle of that damn picture, which you was wearing that damn orange outfit. I ain't here for Wendy with that. Them kind of jokes.
I'm about to say,
I'm here for it because it's my thing. if you my brother and you out here trying to make people think that I'm some kind of way, I don't see an issue with if I know my brother is some kind of way and you coming at me as if I don't know your secrets. Leave me be because I ain't fuck with you. Her point was I ain't fucking with you. Why you fucking with me? Like she didn't do it in any mean spirited way. She did it in a way of we both know what you hitting for. Don't make me say it. I think the difference between someone alluding to someone being gay, being shady, versus knowing my brother is bisexual or whatever in his life, and he's coming after me for no apparent reason. People don't like. Look, I'm not a Wendy stan, but I can respect her gangster to know she like if I don't fuck with you, don't fuck with me. He really came out of the blue and was like talking about her.
He's
like,
done several little videos about her.
Okay, well then
and not only that, he was talking about. To me, I felt like the way he talked about Kevin, that annoyed me because I'm like, you showing more grace to this man who abused your sister, cheated on her, and then used her for the whole time they was together. You cool with that? You fine with that? That doesn't upset you, but you big mad about the fact that Wendy didn't come to y'all mom's funeral as if she might have just didn't want to come for her own reasons. It's a pandemic. She's a sickly person. I don't need to necessarily come to a funeral in order to say goodbye to my mom. Like that was for you. I don't need to, come to a funeral to make you feel better about our mom dying. Like I don't.
When did this come out? Did this just happen? Because didn't the mom die like last month sometime?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the brother was the brother was doing videos like over the past week. He's made other videos the past couple of months. She just didn't say shit. She said shit this time because of what he said. He tried to make people feel as if she was a bad person who did not love her mama and didn't come to the funeral. That's what I got from it. And I feel like as a person who lost my father, sometimes you do not want to go to that funeral, and you should not, as a sibling, make your sibling feel bad for how they grieved. He didn't go to her and voice that. He said that on the thing, and when she then said, "Daddy already know about this issue," meaning my brother and me ain't cool. He know we ain't cool, so why take our issues to your video screen or whatever to make it be in the blogs? She, in my opinion, had every right to say everything she said about him for the whole she kept going back on it. She brought up how she was pissed the day before seeing what he was saying. And again, when she didn't address Kevin cheating forever. The fact that she said, "Tommy, you only my brother." She addressed him directly, facing the camera, so that he knew I'm talking to you. Her point was, don't come at me about shit, because if you do, I will let people know about you and your wife. Y'all should handle y'all issues, meaning it's stuff going on with him and his wife that he won't want out. So don't come to me about the fucking funeral.
Okay, well, now that I hear the story, all right, went back. I take it all back now that I hear the story. I ain't all the way upset with you getting your damn brother together. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. Because y'all know my mama passed. I personally, I'm not going to lie. Playing devil's advocate, I would feel away if my oldest brother would be like, well, I can't deal with it. I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wouldn't take it to the extreme that he did. I wouldn't even bring it up to him because, I'll let him have it. But personally, I probably would have fell away too. But I'm curious to know, because I know her biopic is coming out soon. Maybe he doing all of this because he mad that he ain't going to be in it or something. I don't know.
No, he been saying stuff before the biopic stuff was even going on. I think I've always seen these videos, but the resolution's always so bad. I'm like, I ain't got time to watch that. So he's always been saying little stuff here, little stuff there. What is this weird? And I think people have to stop feeling like a funeral is the end all and be all to respect somebody when they pass away. I feel like some people do not like funerals, and if you make people feel as if they don't go, that they are wrong in some way, I feel like people can say goodbye when they want to say goodbye. The fact that even today on her show, Wendy was like talking to her mom's spirit. Some people just don't like seeing that person in a casket. And I think even if my siblings had ever said like I don't want to go to Dad's funeral, I wouldn't felt any kind of way, because it's not as if them not going meant they don't want to go because for a bad reason. They just may not want to see that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the way that we kind of made it seem like that, it's like weird. I think so many people hold on to a funeral being the ending. And that's not true, because once a person's dead, that's just their body. Like they not even there. That's embalming fluid and skin. That's not your mom. That's embalming fluid and skin. So for my dad, that he didn't even want a funeral at first. He wanted to be cremated. Like it's not me. So I think people need to realize that you need to figure out ways how to say goodbye in your own way. That funeral ain't shit but a high ass, expensive ass party. And it's great if a person want to go. But I don't want anyone to feel as if, oh, well, Wendy ain't she ain't go. Her mama wasn't there. Her mama wasn't there. Her body was. So it wasn't.
I get you. I think the thing with me, I get you. And see, this is why I said, first of all, my brother did go. I don't want no rumors being spread that my brother ain't going to my food. He went. I was just making an example. I think the thing with me, though, why I said that, and it's like you said, some people don't want to see them that way. And I think with me, that's the reason why I wouldn't let it go, because, you know, he got to see her when she died. I didn't. So for me, it was just like, it was important, because I hate funerals too. I didn't want to go, but I went because that's my mama. And you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, when you brought that up, I said, okay, I get it. You know, I get out my feelings about it. I get you.
Well, I'll say, like, with her brother, like, that's some real bitch shit right there. Like, if you had a grievance with her, why didn't you just take it to her? And then you want to get on social media, and this one, like, and him getting on social media, I equate that to somebody in the audience at a comedy show trying to heckle the comedian. The comedian got the mic, so everybody go hit a comedian. So in this instance, you come to your sister, she has a bigger platform. So right there, one, that's a disadvantage there. Two, I don't like people need to, like, because I said this, or I typed it on Bondi's video earlier, people need to worry about their own selves and their healing. Because I mean, when my father passed away, like my mom was upset because I didn't go to the wake, and I told her, like, well, one, in Jewish law, you don't look at a dead body, but two,
what?
Yeah, like it's closed casket funerals, but I didn't go to see his body because, again, like, he's plumped up, you know, with embalming fluid and whatnot. Like, I'm not trying to see him like that. And most people who go to funerals, call it what it is, a lot of the times it's for people to get some type of closure because they didn't get it with that person while they were still living. And even when I was at the funeral, like, you know, me and my pops, we weren't never that close. Well, my eldest brother, he ain't coming to me with it, which that was a smart decision on his part. But he went to my other brother telling him, oh, I don't like the way that, you know, Rail was, you know, mourning, because I wasn't falling all over crying and shit. And it's like, well, I did my mourning back in North Carolina before I came here. But at the same time, why are you worrying about what I'm doing over here? Why are you worrying about how I'm grieving? Shouldn't you be worried about how the fuck you grieving? What the fuck? Because and this one was like, if I didn't come, would have been an issue. Oh, the fact that I'm there, but I'm not boo-hoo-hoo crying, it's a fucking issue. Like, people need to get the fuck over themselves. And again, it's like people have their own way of grieving. So again, maybe she didn't want to see her mother in that condition because, okay, well, this is just a body. I don't want to remember this vision of her to be you in a casket plumped up. I want my last vision to be when we went shopping on Fifth Avenue or whatever the case may be.
And let's not forget that Wendy was very close with her mom. So there's nothing that was going to convince me that Wendy didn't go because she didn't love her mom, or because she didn't care about her mom, or because she didn't care about her dad. Like, nothing is going to convince me of that, because I feel like we've seen Wendy, like, take time out to be with her parents all throughout her being on the show, whether she would bring them on and then you see them go to get something to eat after, and pictures would be on the blogs and all of that. Like, I feel like we saw her have her relationship with them. So I know that's not the case. And for the brother to get online crying and shit, like, trying to make it seem as if basically grandstanding to me, like
Right.
trying to make her look like the bad guy and make him look like the good guy. I just think that probably is an extension of however he felt about her while the mom was still alive. Like Wendy's the famous one, Wendy's the rich one. Wendy has, acquired all of this fame and money and can give things to her parents that they otherwise would not have experienced and all that type of shit. So I feel like her brother just showed to me that deep down you've been jealous of Wendy this whole time, which is why you waited for this opportunity to get your ass online and spray her at this most unopportune time.
Right.
And I think she called him jealous too. I think she said it in her little rant that he was jealous of her, and that she kind of alluded to he may have some either drug issues or there's something where he's not all the way right, and sometimes he's like, I'm righteous, and sometimes he's on some bullshit or whatever. So you can tell that they have a strained relationship, which makes that even worse. Ain't nothing worse than not being cool with somebody who then try to spray you as if they're the ones in the right. That would piss me off even more.
And the real tragedy about this whole thing is, at a time that's supposed to bring them closer together, he's digging ways to make them grow further and further apart. Like, they mama would not want that. She wouldn't. I'm more than sure.
But you do know
This is
that.
eating her up. That's so sad. I feel so bad.
But you do know that in most families, a funeral brings out the worst in people. Deaths in the family brings the absolute worst out of people, and it shouldn't. But it brings out the worst in people. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. It is.
And truth be told, those parents, you don't even remember it. You be so like, I don't remember most of my day. Like, you don't even remember stuff. So like, even to make it seem as if she was there, that would have like fixed something. It's like you still grieving regardless of who's in attendance.
Right.
I appreciate y'all for sending Scotty the super chats. I sent Scotty a $20 super chat early. I don't know if he saw it or not, but y'all know I sent him a little $20 super chat early. To help out.
Quick thing. I was just gonna go back to when we talked about Raz B. So I just saw a post on the Shade Room, and Chris Stokes commented under Omarion's brother's post with some emojis. And Orion responded in all caps and told him to take the polygraph with eyes. So
Okay.
I don't know if Omarion may know some information and told it to Orion or whatever, but he may not have B2K behind him, but clearly Orion is. And
Listen, Raz B said Omarion, J Boog, and Lil Fizz was down to mess with each other. He was the one that was not down with that shit. He admitted all of that way back when I was in high school. He admitted that he was confused about his sexuality. It made him depressed. He didn't know what to do. He was on the edge of the ledge. Somebody make sure he don't jump. Like, he went through all of that. And I believe everyone. It's sad.
But you know what pissed me off though? That same post that Jamie just mentioned, I just went to that same post on my phone, and Pleasure P with his old water wheel head ass, he gonna come in and say, well, why don't Raz just take the polygraph test? Bitch, why don't you find a career and find another member for Pretty Ricky? Why don't you do that?
Okay, and lose that 6-month-old gut. Y'all remember when he was up there?
I know he's not talking. Didn't he have a situation with an underage girl not too long
Probably.
ago? So
yeah.
Take the
Probably.
test yourself. Worry about yourself. And I hope they on his ass in them comments for that.
Okay.
Okay.
What got to do with him?
Lord, y'all done set Jamie off. Jamie had to come. Hold on, bitch. What was said? I know that's right. Get him together, Miss Jamie.
Because he was wrong.
No, for real. Exactly.
Saying nothing. Like, shut the fuck up.
Stay in your fucking lane.
Like, you don't need to be saying nothing. Like I hate people.
That's how I felt when Charlamagne went on R. Kelly up there speaking. I said, nigga, you ain't got no right to talk. You went through the same shit.
Who?
Charlamagne. Y'all don't remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The main one that was bragging about the fact that R. Kelly taught him how to eat booty because of that damn P tape that he watched. How the fuck you gonna come to him now that they have the Surviving R. Kelly series now. Now you want to change up your tune. You were just bragging about watching the tape yourself. Like, please go to hell. Like, please.
Child.
Well,
like, they always.
I was reading further about, you know, this Omarion Chris Stokes Orion situation, and Orion seems to be like, you know, nah, you did that shit. Like,
it probably happened to him too.
But you know what that make me feel like? That make me feel like Orion knows that something happened with Omarion. Yeah. And just because he's not gonna say it, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit up here and act like we cool and shit, and you putting fist pumps under my pictures and shit. Well, you know what I'm saying? Nah, no.
I'm not mad at Orion. Call his nasty ass out. Stop protecting the abusers. Stop doing that shit,
please.
And he said, it seems as if Chris Stokes is blaming his brother Ricardo Thornton. Yep. He said that he's the one that assaulted him, and he's in jail. So that's what Chris Stokes is basically saying. It's this person. It wasn't me. That's a lie. And I just kind of feel like, you know, if it wasn't true, I feel like his career would have been murdered if it wasn't true. But the fact that he has still been able to continue to work and continue to be a part of like the fabric of the culture in some way, it makes me feel like he did that shit, because I feel like people who do that to kids, y'all protect each other. So that's why he would still be able to really work. Because whenever y'all can accuse somebody of that shit and they'll never be able to work again. In this situation, he gets to just, you know, he gets to continue to be successful no matter what, no matter how many times several different people have said that.
I keep telling y'all parents, all money ain't good money. Protect your damn kids. Stop looking at dollar signs.
You know what? Being that Orion said that, it makes me feel like either A, something could have possibly happened to him. B, he knows something happened to Raspy because he was around. So he probably knows all too well. Like, nigga, you did it.
He was around.
Here, we know you did it. Yeah, he been around, so he knows. So I'm over it. Like every time it kills me. Every time someone is an allegation out, the first thing people do is victim blame, and that shit getting on my fucking nerves. Stop victim blaming people.
Right.
Like that shit kills me. They love to blame. Even if it's not a sexual assault, even if it's a man who put his hands on a woman and she comes out and put it out there, they victim blame. This don't come out.
Or thinking it's okay to put kids in adult situations, especially boys. Like, for instance, that shit they did to Usher when he was growing up. Like, y'all don't think y'all damage people when y'all like force, you know, adult situations on them when they're kids and not really ready for that, but y'all think they need to man up or whatever. So you put them in these sexual situations that they are not comfortable with. It is assault, whether you want to admit it or not.
That's the same thing Baby did to Lil Wayne. That's the same thing they did.
But that's the same thing. That's the same thing with Lil Boosie too. Like, he was the main one saying that he was so adamant about his son not being gay and all this other stuff. But then he turns around and gets an older woman to give his son, who was probably, I think, 12 or 13 years old, oral sex and think that shit is okay. And you got idiots around here that really is sitting up here clapping for the shit because they think it's cool. But that is still a form of sexual assault. Now, y'all don't see nothing wrong with that, but all y'all see is he want his son to be gay. But that don't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I would much rather have my son be a smart, educated young man that just so happens to like other men versus being a thug, a baby daddy to about 4 or 5 baby mamas. He ain't taking care of none of their kids, running the streets, pants sagging down. Like, I never understood that when parents be like, I would rather deal with that than a gay child. Are you kidding me?
Because they don't want to deal with people coming at them about it. That's what that's about. They feel ashamed. You can be out here making, mistakes, but they can point out any number of mistakes that those same people's their kids are making. You know what I'm saying? But when it's the gay situation, people just feel so much more societal pressure from that. I feel like so that's really why, because they don't want to have to deal with that pressure themselves. Which is bullshit to me, because at the end of the day, like, I want my kid to be happy. I don't live by what other people have to say about me. I don't give a fuck.
Right. As long as you safe and you ain't out here ripping and running the streets, and you still doing what you got to do, but you being yourself, I'm not mad at that.
Right.
Most definitely. Like like people make it seem, but it just goes back to what people are saying in the comments. It's the toxic masculinity that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing to me, is toxic masculinity. You can see it from a mile away, like men that criticize everything another man does. That's like questioning a man's manhood just for the things that he decides to do. We could go all night talking about this,
right?
But I know it's almost 11 o'clock for me, and it's almost night for Amy. I think Jay Lee. I think
I'm sleepy, honey. It's midnight here.
I ordered some pizza, and I'm still waiting for my groceries from Amazon, but I got notes to make for All American and 911. So
yeah, I'm about to close this out. Before we go, first of all, I want to thank everybody in the chat for tuning in tonight. We got I think we got like 550 people in all that came in. So shout out to shout out to the chat, and shout out to the for that. Those send me cash apps, including Terrence. I have to give him his special shout out. Thank you for the cash apps.
I was just saying.
Shout out to Alex for coming along. His battery died. That's why he's been gone now, because his battery had died. So to Alex. Shout out for Josiah, who actually tried to be here tonight, even though he had a grueling migraine. He even was sitting up here for as long as he could. But I really appreciate him for even doing that. Shout out to Simply Sakina for being our special guest tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to for being our special guest. She's back up here again when it's time. For the rest of y'all, Bundy, Jamie, y'all shit, you're real. Jaylee's Corner. You guys let them know where they can find you at on your social media, on your YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry, and Terrence. Let them know where they can find you at on your YouTube and your Instagram, all of that stuff. I'm sorry, you came in at the last minute.
All right, y'all can see it, Bondy Blue, on everything. I'm on YouTube, Bondy Blue, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything Bondy Blue.
On YouTube it's Jaylee's Corner, but on IG and Twitter it's J_Lee's_corner. But yeah, Jaylee's Corner, all up and through.
I'm not that interesting.
Literally stop here. Okay. Jamie, that's me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
And Sakina, you can also let people know where to find you too, girl.
Oh, okay. Simply Sakina, YouTube, Simply_Sakina, Instagram, Simply Sakina, Twitter. But I mean, I really just be doing a lot of stuff on Instagram. Well, stories. So yeah. Simply Sakina everywhere.
Okay, and as for myself, you can find me on Instagram at Scotty_by_nature. I take pictures all day, every day, and post videos of myself, of my non-rhythm having self dancing and singing along to your favorite old school jams all the time on Instagram. If you want to see all that, go to my Instagram. My Twitter is at ScottyByNature1. There is no underscore. ScottyByNature1, and my YouTube channel is, of course, Guided by Nature TV. And by the way, if you guys follow Layla Lynn, be sure to check out the 2 videos that I did with Layla Lynn. We did a live on the Housewives of Atlanta, and we did a pre-recorded video about the upcoming season of Basketball Wives. So shout out to myself for being able to be on the video with Layla Lynn. We will be back next Monday. We'll be talking about
I ain't get a chance to give the people my shit.
Boring. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Anyway, y'all already know where to find me at Giving You the Real Tea. That's my YouTube channel. Also, Giving You the Real Tea on Instagram and TL Smith Tea Talk on Twitter. Bring y'all asses around there, girl, because we gags.
Okay, and now that he's done, like I was saying,
okay, bitch,
check that video out, as well as everything else. But I know everybody sleeps, so we're about to get on up out of here. Special shout out to Terrence for coming in later on because he did get called in, and you know he is a nurse, so he's here to take care of you guys. Probably y'all men too if y'all not watching. But
okay,
yeah,
you better listen.
That's it for and we'll talk to you guys later, okay? Till next time. We'll holler. See y'all later.